Wow. If there's an infinite number of universes, but travel between them is impossible, then what are we even talking about? What's even the point of speculating? If it's impossible to interact with these hypothetical universes that might exist, then what's the point? If it's even possible, even a little bit, it will be happening an infinite number of times, at all times, forever, all at once, all the time. Because that's what infinity means. So the only other alternative is there's a finite number of universes, to which I have to ask, how many, why only that number, and what is preventing them from interacting with each other? These are questions that we can't possibly have the answers to, at least not yet. And at that point, we're just like drawing the rules of our own fan fiction multiverse. Does that all make sense? All right, go. Oh! You got her!
Why do you guys legitimately prefer a plank of wood? A plank of wood.
I don't have a plank of wood.
You prefer me.
I don't have a plank of wood. I can't do the thing. I can't. Hold on. You got. Shit. I'm trying to think of a funny thing to. Okay. Hold on. Do I have millions of followers yet? Do I? Am I famous yet? Okay, I'm gonna wait. We have this Reddit. It's called r/am I the asshole?
Yes.
Where people tell their personal
you're
stories
just
and ask if. Anyway, it's a family-friendly stream. This ain't no family-friendly stream over here. I can say fuck, shit, piss, motherfucker, cocksucker. Like, it's all open. It's all open games over here. I'm a huge proponent of free speech, so I don't like, unless the only exception I make is like obviously hurting people's feelings. But yeah, profanity totally fine by me. Obviously, no hate speech or anything like that. But you know, as long as it's respectful, we're all good.
You want some cosplay? Here's your cosplay. I will crush my enemies. It's just this breathing tube is not like completely straight. So it just kind of does that sort of farting noise, but there we go.
Most young people go through the phase of thinking that because they feel something strongly, they're the first people ever in the history of the world to feel that way, and therefore they think that what they're saying is profound by virtue of them feeling it. Because it's new to them, they think it's new to everyone. It takes a little time to realize that lots of people have felt the same way about something, you know? It's one of those lessons you only really learn with time. Yeah. Yo, if you only had mom's spaghetti, oh shit. His palm spaghetti, knees weak, arms spaghetti. There's vomit on his sweater already.
Mom's spaghetti.
He's nervous, but on the surface looks calm.
Spaghetti.
To drop bombs, but it keeps on
Spaghetti.
What he wrote down, the whole crowd goes
Spaghetti.
He opens his mouth,
The
but
spaghetti
won't come out. He's choking how? Everybody's joking now.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti's run out, time's run over. Blow, snap back to
Spaghetti.
spaghetti. Oh, he goes spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
No, he's so spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Low. He's mad, but he won't give up spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
No, he won't have it. I don't really have the time to watch it, so I just see like little chunks. I have a lot of stuff to do. Well, the little amount of time that you choose to spend is already huge, Valerie. I'm competing with YouTube, with other major Twitch streamers, with Netflix and Crunchyroll and all manner of video and video game services, and of all of those, you chose to stay here, that's huge. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I hope that I'll be worth your while. I try my best. Okay. So literally, like, from the 1800s until literally the rest of time, the people who got to write about history happened to be the most privileged, most educated, wealthiest people in the entire world. And they didn't give a fuck about the average life of the average person. Hence, they didn't write about it. So if you feel like people in the medieval ages were more impressive, it's because you're reading about the most impressive 1% of the average person. Because nobody gave a fuck about how the average peasant lived. They didn't write about it, and therefore the historical record doesn't exist. That's the truth.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who requests?
Elvis, for Elvis.
Okay. Cosmic Elvis, I hope you will fucking die in a fire.
What the fuck?
I hope. I am talking. Please be quiet, bitches. I want you all to burn, and I really hope that every single soul and particle of your body is gonna disappear. I hate you all. I don't know why this is turning on for you, but if this is what I need to do to make you happy, you're fucking welcome.
Shouldn't have asked. You shouldn't have asked. What's interesting is, despite it being so scathing, there were only 2 swear words in that entire.
I got carried away. I don't know. Like, I don't know many swear words.
Fucking slap me in the ass.
You have just one attempt.
Here we go.
That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Fuck you.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Lower.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
Goddamn, dude.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29.
Stop it! Seriously!
31, 32, 33.
Yeah, that's as much as I can do. Oh, Jesus.
And he's dead.
Respect, because
Fuck you,
he was
dude.
being beaten.
I'm gonna be like fucking have red marks on my
So
ass.
we leave the
got it
guys
in the
for
moment.
3 minutes and they're doing push-ups.
So literally, like, from the 1800s until literally the rest of time, the people who got to write about history happened to be the most privileged, most educated, wealthiest people in the entire world. And they didn't give a fuck about the average life of the average person. Hence, they didn't write about it. So why do I look so ugly? What the fuck? What? Wait, no, I'm okay. That was just a bad angle. I was like, damn. I mean, I haven't shaved for a while, but goddamn, I look awful. Jesus. Look at my face. I am 33 years old and my hair is so patchy. Look, there's like, what the fuck? Oh my god, dude. I can't grow a beard to save my goddamn life. Good lord. Guess it wasn't meant to be. Hey, Hazunia's here. What do you mean? You look the same like you usually do. Oh, hey, Hazunia. Nice to see you, buddy. Thanks. Oh, stop it. I'm just the same level of ugly. Yeah, I'm not especially ugly today. I'll say that, my man. Hey, Hazunia. How you doing? Feeling good? Feeling great? Living the dream? Being the boss? All that good stuff? But it is true, my facial hair is patchy as fuck, though. That is undeniable. It's probably not even better on this side. I can't see, but like, it's not good. It's no bueno. I can barely put off the goatee. I don't know if you can see it, but like on this side, it all grows uniform and it's nice. On this side, there's like a little bit right over here that barely grows. So when I like try to connect it, it's like it doesn't quite like there's not enough hairs to really like get the full line through. So I have to do some shenanigans and like do some shaving on this side to like compensate. It's the worst. It's the worst. Anyway, we do what we can, you know? Anyway. Hopefully you're living large. Hopefully things are going well for you, Hazunium. I sure hope so. Because things are not going well for me. So, well, they have been going well for me for a while, to be fair. This is a rather dark period in my life, I gotta say. All things in all. Chapter 6 is... It's not great. I don't know if I've ever actually talked about this. I have this, like, weird thing. You know how I, like, suffer from main character syndrome? Pretty extensively, actually. I got a really bad case of it. I've sort of, like, divided my life into... Like, if my life were an anime, then... Or like a book, I guess you could say. Then, like, I sort of divided it into broad chapters. So, we have 0 over here. And let's say... Well, we do it, like... Okay, so it was, like... 0 to 8... I've had one strong case of it, I think. Not sure what exactly that is. Main character syndrome. Well, main character syndrome is just like when you think that like you're the only person who matters in a situation. You know, like you don't consider the feelings of other people. You think that everything's about you. You know, that sort of thing. It often happens in like collaborative. Main character syndrome often like the way that I. That never? You never had that? Oh, I've had that all the goddamn time. It's awful. It's the worst. I mean, I usually try to check myself before I, act on it, but I feel it. It often happens when people are playing D&D. I usually start from the opposite. Oh, sweetie. Oh, honey, no. You're special. You're cute. You're special. I like you, Hazunia. I think you should be the main character of every social interaction you're in. Unless you don't want that. You could be the fun, quirky, supporting character. Comic relief. That's nice. Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, in D&D it often happens. Here, let me put this down a bit. Just... Oh, there we go. Sorry. I love being quirky supportive. That's why I always play healer MMOs. You are doing the Lord's work, Hazunia. You're doing the Lord's work. I gotta say, I actually don't mind being a healer either. Honestly, I don't. Yeah. Depending on the game. Like, there's some games where it is kind of boring, where you're literally just like looking stat blocks. But it is kind of a challenge in its own right, you know? While everyone else is busy focusing damage and like putting their combos off, you're busy like managing health bars. That's a challenge in and of itself. I kind of like it. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. Plus, in some games, healers are indispensable. So you are like the MVP no matter what you do. Well, it's not just healer, but also other kind of support roles. That's wonderful. That's amazing, Hazunia. That's fantastic. Well, support characters can also be like the main character in any situation. In D&D, for example, very often when you run a campaign, you will often have or Illidan. Abathur and Hots is a lot of fun with Cho'Gall or Tracer or Illidan. As in, you play Abathur, and then everyone else plays other... Yeah. I forget what Abathur does. But anyway... But yeah, in D&D, generally, I mean, obviously it depends on the group. It depends on like the people and what they're into. But generally, people tend to fall into broad categories. And like the best is when you have like that perfect combination of each type of player. And one of the sort of archetypes is the face. Oftentimes called like the baby face, which is like the character who usually plays like the lawful good. Sorry, the player who plays like the lawful good character, whose job it is to basically be the actual protagonist of the story that actually moves the story along. So like, if your party's job is to go talk to the mayor of the town, then like, 3 out of 4 characters are going to be dicking around in the potion shops and like, harassing the villagers. The baby face is the one who'll be like, all right, guys, let's go actually talk to the mayor. Let's progress the fucking game so the DM doesn't blow a gasket. Yeah. And so like that person ends up becoming the main character by virtue of being the only one truly engaging with the story. So yeah, in one of the campaigns that I run, we had a player who he was our main healer as well. He was our life cleric, which is like the mega healer. It's like the main healer, like class and subclass in D&D, and he was playing this like lawful stupid, like super handsome, like Prince Charming basically type character, and yeah, he was like the face of the party. It was hilarious. It was so good. Lawful stupid is something you really have to, like, you have to really pull it off in a way that makes it entertaining. A complete himbo? Oh yeah, full himbo. But okay, let me tell you the story. I think I've told this story a couple times before. How familiar are you with D&D? If I talk about like mechanics and like skill checks and stuff, do you know what I mean, or no? Speaking of D&D, we actually finished playing BG3 literally like 2 days ago. It's finally over. I'm finally gonna play something else. Can you believe it? But yeah. Not familiar? That's fine. I guess I can still explain. So I'll briefly explain to you. So I was gonna do this whole like lifetime thing, but whatever. Fine, fuck it, whatever. Just about everyone about me who plays D&D. That's fine. So in D&D, how can I even show you this? In D&D, you have your 6 main attributes. You have your here, hold on. Wait, I'm missing something. Oh, yeah. So in D&D, you have 6 main attributes, and then you have like a bunch of skills that you can also like add bonuses to. But whenever you try to do something, chances are whether or not you succeed or fail will be determined by the roll of a d20 plus whatever bonuses you get on top of that. So like, your character will be like, I don't know, 15 strength, and or like basically they all translate to like a +3 or a +2 or +1 +0. Then you have like maybe like a -2 or something, and like -3 because you're butt ugly, stuff like that, right? And then on top of that, you have skills. But what that means is that theoretically, every time that you do a skill check or like a save or something, there's usually what's called a DC, which is the minimum number you need to roll to succeed, essentially, right? Quite relatable. Yeah. So for example, like if you want to resist a poison, you drink some wine and it turns out it's poisoned, you do a Constitution saving throw, and the DC is 15, and you roll, and you roll, I don't know, 14 plus the 1 you get from your con. That means it's a 15. You succeed. You resist the poison. Pretty simple stuff. Any lower than that, and you fuck it up. Pretty simple stuff. The reason I'm telling you this is because it sets the scene for the situation. So let me set the scene. We were a group of about I think we were like level 3 or 4. There maybe level 5 adventurers, which is pretty early on in the campaign. Let me set the scene even more. Hold on. I will set the scene even more. Hold on a second. Hold the fuck on. Why is this shit not working? Excuse me? Sorry, I'm trying to get like a nice tavern background. This is super not worth it, but like, fuck it, I'm invested already. Hold on. Why is this not working? Also, why am I... Oh, that's why, because I'm zoomed in. I don't know why I was zoomed in like that. That was weird. Oops. I think I'll literally be using the exact same image. Or more or less, yeah. This one's a bit... Hold on. This is super not worth it, but... it's my show. We do what we want here. Sure. This one's actually 1920 by... No, actually, it's got a watermark. Never mind. We'll take this one. Sure, why not? Just blatantly ripping off artists here. Just blatantly ripping off. You know how we do. You can search by image resolution? I know I could, but it's fine. It's not, again, it's not super worth it. This is just for a gag. This is just for a gag. Just for the story. Perfect. There we go. Oh, wait, I need to... Do I want to do it here? No, I'll just, I'll just move my... I'll just get my webcam going. Oh. Actually, it'd be easier if I did it here, to be honest. The hell? Oh, no. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, what else do we need for this? Oh, we also need... Wait, is this gonna work? No, but you need to know about the individual characters as well. Hold on. Okay. Here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna... Okay, sorry. This is taking way too long. I'm doing it for the YouTube. Okay, here we are, and then we'll switch here for the explanatory. Okay, cool. All right. I'm gonna need to set the scene here. There were basically there were 5 of us in the party, but only 4 of us really mattered for this story because one of us wasn't really participating. Okay, hold on. Yep. I could have, in the time it took me to like load all this up, I could have actually just told the story by now, but fuck it, you know, I'm already invested. Hazunia, you don't mind waiting like another 10 minutes while I set this up, right? I promise you the story is amazing, but just like, yeah. Oh shit, all right. I hope you don't mind. That's pretty close actually. She was like, what's like a, this is pretty, well, kind of. I mean, she was more like into lightning. Give me a lightning sorceress. Ooh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Or maybe even like that. Yeah, that's what's up. Ooh, maybe even like that. Well, no, it's a bit too menacing. She was like, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. She was like that. And we had, like a full-on, full-on himbo man. This is pretty close. This is pretty close. Yeah, we'll take that. And most importantly, this one I can actually show you. Yeah, there we go. I made this one myself. Okay. What's up? Hey, Old World Slayer. I was just about to tell Hazunia about one of my favorite D&D stories from your campaign. Old World Slayer was actually the DM. Does anyone understand? Yeah. Old World Slayer was actually the DM for this campaign, of which I'm about to tell my favorite story. So, Old World Slayer, feel free to add the extra details. Oh, actually, okay, I'll add the last one. That's not me. That's pretty close, actually. That's pretty close. All right. So, I think we have everybody here. This one we might need to zoom in a little bit. I mean, it doesn't super matter, but okay. So, there were 5 of us in the party, and still are 5 of us total players. And I guess it doesn't make sense to like name the players specifically, so I'll just call them by their character names, and you figure it out. In the party, we had 5, I guess you could say disgruntled and barely cooperating folks. It kind of turned out that way that none of us really made an ostensibly good character except for one of us. So we were all kind of like just like cooperating for convenience's sake, but we were adventurers in need of money and adventure, so we got into it. Disheveled, yeah. Vladku, thanks for the follow. And we had just finished our first main mission. We went to the Mines of Phandelver, I believe it's called. Yeah, Mines of Phandelver, and we killed like the big bad evil guy. Hey, Dobrokovia, welcome to the stream. We killed like the BBEG, we finished the mission, and we came back to celebrate in Phandalin, the town that we were staying in. So, in our party, we have Illyria, who is a lightning sorceress, draconic bloodline, so she also has like, imagine like this, but she has like dragon scales on half her face, and one of her eyes is blue, and she loves casting lightning, and she's super hot, but very much like high maintenance, noble, and looks down on everyone, and you know, very very like princess kind of vibes. Then we have Stanton Straymill of the Waterdeep Straymills, the baby face of our party. This is our life cleric, super healer guy, and lawful stupid in the most hilarious way possible. This guy was like full on like Boy Scout through and through, full himbo Boy Scout, and yeah, it was just hilarious how naive he was. He would fall for anything. It was incredible. Then we have Anya, the Aasimar Barbarian. She doesn't really play a part in this story all that much, but she was there, and she's our DPS. Then we have Kenku, who is a Kenku. Kenku are crow people, basically. They're like humanoid crow people. And she was a rogue, and she left to play tricks on people and kind of, you know, mess around with people, all that stuff. And last but not least, certainly not least, we have my character, I'll Kill 'Em All, the Drow celestial warlock, who was basically like, I was trying to parody a very typical character that often happens in D&D groups, is like the brooding edgelord, you know? And so his catchphrase would be, "Nobody understands." And yeah, he was like, "Heard you talking shit, sir. Came to check truth of your tales." Yeah. This is my favorite story. Purple Sonora actually played Kenku, so she can also, with a name like that, you have to be real careful not to cut yourself on the edge. Yeah. Like he was like full on edgelord in the dumbest way possible, and yeah, he's now basically the comic foil of the group. It's incredible. It's so good. So yes. So once again, we have Illyria, Stanton Straymill of the Waterdeep Straymills, Anya the Barbarian, Kenku, and I'll Kill 'Em All, whom nobody understands. So we had just come back from you know, killing the BBEG, and we were celebrating, and along the way, I'm not sure if it was like right then or maybe before that, some of our characters got into herbalism a little bit, and I think Kenku got a hold of some potions. I don't remember from where. Please remind me where you got them from. But there were 2 main potions that will play a part in this story. The first one is a love potion, and the second one is a heavy laxative that you can pour into tea, I believe. Or was it tea? I don't remember. Or just like into any drink, something like that. So love potion, laxative. This is the important part. And I think like, if I remember correctly, at this point, I'll Kill 'Em All and some of the others were like talking shit or something. Well, I'll Kill 'Em All always talk shit, so that makes sense. And so Kenku definitely wanted to knock him down a peg, but also just wanted to mess with people. Love potion first session still from a random crying guy. That's the one. Yeah, and got the laxative from the Sister G. Laxative, nice. And so yeah, Kenku wanted to mess with her compatriots a little bit, and the first thing she did was she spiked Illyria's and Stanton's drink with the love potion, just for shits and giggles, just to see what would happen. Going poop with passion. Hold on, don't get ahead of me. Now, as I mentioned before, the way that it works in D&D is that when your character is under the effect of some sort of a spell or ability or whatever, you have a chance to resist it. This is what's called a save of some kind. And I mentioned before that there's a minimum number you have to hit in order to resist whatever the effect is, otherwise you succumb to the effect. The effect of this particular love potion is that you fall in love with the first person you lay eyes on, I believe? Or was it like you fall in love with the other person who also... I don't remember what the exact specifications were, but basically both Stanton and Illyria failed their saves, locked eyes with each other, and just started going at it. Now, keep in mind, Illyria is not a character who's like against sex necessarily, but has incredibly high standards, and Stanton is as chaste as they come. He's like a literal, Christian Boy Scout. So them like suddenly jumping on each other is so out of character. They were intoxicated, thus had a disadvantage. Yes, they were already drunk. Yes. There we go. So they double failed. And so they just started going. There's them making out right there at the table where everyone's at the tavern. Also keep in mind at this point that Alkilamal was nursing a completely unrequited crush on Illyria. As one usually does. Also, one thing to keep in mind, Alkilamal is basically the elven equivalent of a teenager at this point, so he's barely even an adult. He's like the elven equivalent of 13, essentially. So he's not, not all there. And so, he's watching this and he's, pissed off or whatever. One thing leads to another, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the effects of that love potion lasted for 1 hour. Is that right? So after about like it's a body pump for the hormones. Yeah. So about half an hour of making out, they decide, you know what? Let's take it upstairs to the bedroom. They go upstairs, and at this point, Kenku's like, "Oh shit, I fucked up. I need to start doing like interference or whatever before it goes way too far." I don't remember exactly what it was you were trying to do, but basically it failed, or at least it delayed it long enough. Anyway, they do manage to get upstairs, and they start taking each other's clothes off, and it's just full of passion. Illyria is just like taking her clothes off. Stanton is frantically undoing all of his, because he's like wearing full plate armor, so it takes him a while to get all his plate. And of course, we discover that he also is wearing a chastity belt. Yeah. And he's like fiddling around trying to find the key to the chastity belt. He's like trying to... And it's at around this point that the timer for the love potion wears off, and Illyria, straddling Stanton Straymill of the Waterdeep Straymills, realizes what has happened. And of course, they're both mortified, and they sheepishly put their clothes back on and return with the group. Yeah. I don't think I've ever laughed so goddamn hard in my life as at that moment when it's discovered that Stanton Straymill has a chastity belt underneath everything else. It's just so it's good times. Anyway, they come down from the room upstairs back down to the tavern, and at this point, Alkilamal is full on pissed, both literally and metaphorically. He's been drinking his sorrows away. And just complaining because, of course, the girl that he had a crush on is with somebody else. Because he doesn't know about the love potion, you see. Because he has no idea. I happen to know a game with that standard gear for a paladin. Yeah. And so he's getting progressively more and more drunk. And I think at this point, Kenku gets tired of his shit. It was in parallel? Oh, my apologies. Well, anyway, Alkilamal, being the loud, brutish, asshole that he is, gets on Kenku's nerves, and Kenku decides to spike his drink with the laxative. Once again, the two events were happening at the same time? Okay, my apologies. All right, well, either way, once again, there was a Constitution save that needed to be rolled. Now, the thing about Alkilamal is his stats are pretty decent. One thing that's been kind of unfortunate about Alkilamal is that for the longest time, his Constitution modifier was -1. which didn't bode too well for his health pool, but also meant that he was very much not in the way of surviving Constitution saving throws. So I thought, okay, it's gonna fuck it up. It's fine. I'm ready for it. One thing that you should also know about D&D is that there is a general, like, it's not an ironclad rule, but it's generally considered, like, common practice. I guess you could say, like, a common general rule of D&D, that if you roll a nat 20, that is to say, when you roll the d20, a 20 rolls up on top of the die. That's an automatic success, and sometimes even a critical success, meaning that the best possible thing could happen in this situation. And likewise, no matter what your bonuses might be, if you roll a 1 on the d20, that's called a nat 1, that is to say, a critical failure. Guess what I'll Kill 'Em All rolls to resist the laxative? We roll... Numero uno. And I actually believe that at this particular point, in real life, we were also drinking a little bit, so I was also like a little bit under the influence, and I knew at that moment that I had a mission. I needed to sell this as hard as I could. So, as narrated by me, immediately in his seat, I'll Kill 'Em All goes, like he goes up a couple inches, just completely dislodged. But it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. Your boy is just absolutely leaking from his bottom orifice, just absolutely spraying shit everywhere through the pants. I don't know how it got there. Just absolutely going wild, running out the door, trying to get to the porta potty outside. Of course, it's locked. Somebody's in there. Maybe, who knows? Maybe the door is jammed. And meanwhile, your boy is completely just like a fountain, like a fire hose of brown, just coming out of this man's asshole through the pants again. I don't know how it's just incredible. Hey, Nurgatrol is here. What's up? And at this point, of course, the smell gets to him. It isn't great. So of course he's now vomiting as well. So now he's shooting out both ends, like some sort of absolutely just a waterworks show. Worst possible scenarios, of course. Oh yeah, absolutely. And out of a need to seclude himself and also to find a place to relieve himself properly, I'll Kill 'Em All runs to the nearby woods. And the combination of heartache and dehydration and alcoholism and, of course, the diarrhea and vomit everywhere makes I'll Kill 'Em All whimper so loudly that it echoes throughout the entire wood. Oh yes, and of course I'm crawling there. Yeah. And the whimpers echo so menacingly throughout the night that forevermore, the woods outside of the town of Phandalin, a rumor spreads that there is a vengeful ghost whimpering for revenge. And so, those woods are forever called the Whimpering Woods. Some can even hear the cacophonous crying of the vengeful ghost shitting itself. Oh my god! Yes, indeed, yes. And obviously, we're all having a great time with this. This is incredible. But to me, life finds a way. Yeah. The reason I love this story is because it demonstrates to my mind one of my favorite things about D&D as a game, which I love, is that in very few games does failure present the opportunity to be even more entertaining than success. If you really lean into it, if you really, go hard and have a good time and, do good improv, failure can be just as entertaining, if not more so, than success. And so I love telling this story because, whoo boy, it's a good one. That is the moment that I learned the power I possess in D&D. It's, you gotta be careful with it. You gotta be careful. It's a great campaign, honestly. It's a really good story, and yeah. Big thanks to Old World Slayer for arranging it and for, narrating it and stuff. To this day, I've made a lot of fantastic characters, but to this day, I think I'll Kill 'Em All is still my favorite character I've ever made. Dude's an absolute legend. Oh man, just the worst. Just the worst. Nobody understands. But the whole group is great as well, yeah. And we've had some roster changes over the years, but yeah. Unfortunately, the player who played Stanton Straymill, he moved back to Sweden, so yeah. We'll miss him. We'll miss you, you beautiful chastity bastard. Chastard, if you will. Anyway, that was my little D&D story. Dilligav is awesome as well. It's true. Dilligav is awesome. Yeah. But his legend will live on. It's true. It's true. We're all pretty awesome. But yeah, so that's my story. Why did I tell this story? There's a reason I told this story. I forgot why. Because D&D. Why? How do we get on this anyway? Oh, because of support roles. Yeah, right, because of support characters. Because I was talking about himbos, right. By the way, did you listen to the song I shared last time? I did listen to the song. Yeah, it's lovely. It was a really nice song. I like it. It was a nice song. I had no idea. I had not a clue. Something about main character syndrome. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, obviously that's the best case scenario. Honestly, like, in my experience, I find that once you get past, like, the age of 25, if every player is, like, past the age of 25 or, like, even 30, that's really the ideal play group, because very few people past the age of 30 lack the emotional maturity to understand that D&D is a collaborative experience, and, like, they're cool with kind of, like, propping each other up and setting each other up for success in terms of, like, cool performances. But, like, if you read any D&D horror stories, very often you will find there's a lot of socially anxious teens who see D&D as their, like, wish fulfillment fantasy vector, and that's where the edgelord stereotype comes from. It's from a bunch of, like, socially awkward, usually teenage boys who think that D&D is their opportunity to play out their fantasy of being the cool guy that, like, you know, everyone wants to get to know better, but, like, but you wouldn't understand. I'm just gonna brood in the corners. I'm the shadow. You know, like, yeah. I listened to some D&D horror stories on YouTube. Yeah, there's some bad ones. I'm not saying it's, like, a universal thing that, like, the older you get, the better you are, but generally, yeah. One story involved grandparents being the main character in real life, even. Oh, damn. Well, that sucks. But yeah, also, main character syndrome is a very common trope as well. I think it comes in two different flavors. There's, like, the dramatic people, like the theater kids who genuinely are just, like, narcissistic and or are desperately, like, insecure and therefore need to be the center of attention in order to validate themselves, and people who migrate from single player RPGs like Skyrim and whatever, who just don't get it yet. And usually that second group eventually gets it, like, after they play for a while, that they realize that they're not the only player who matters. Other players also are involved, and it's also the world, and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that is a common problem, that, like, you know, Skyrim players and, you know, those kind of sorts, there's a bit of a learning curve. But with that first group, I don't know, man, it's just like a personality thing. And it makes sense, again, because, you know, the game kind of invites, because it's literally, it's role play. It's literally just, like, improv theater with some, you know, mechanics thrown in there. It makes sense that it would invite it would be enticing to the kind of people who might lack self-awareness to a certain extent. So, yeah, stands to reason. So it's tough. But it's still my favorite game of all time. It's still, like, by and large, yeah. I feel called out as a Skyrim player. No. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. No. You're fine, Purple Sonora. You know you're good. You're a team player. But I mean, just, like, there's lots of people who who've never played D&D before, who are just, like, getting into it for the first time. They just assume that, like, everything works the same way that it, yeah. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I am saying. You know. But yeah, Skyrim's trash. No, it's fine, whatever. More like mid-rim. Ooh. Anyway. But yeah, D&D is great. I have gotten into the habit of making characters. Here, let me show you my embarrassing. Here. This is my D&D folder. Here are all the characters that I've made. I have like a bunch of them. That's my new hobby right now, is I just make characters. I just like come up with a build and like do a little backstory, and I'm just like, if I'm trying to make one in every single class, just so like I have it on the ready in case anybody needs something. You know, I have a bunch of shit here. Where's our? Oh wait, where is I'll Kill 'Em All? He should be. Oh, I guess he's somewhere else. Anyway. This is me, by the way. Hold on. Where's my... This is me. I made myself in D&D. This is Pavel Azamatov. He's a human background entertainer. He's a cleric of knowledge. And here's my stats. I am high whiz. My Ka's okay. Could be better. A little bit of riz. But yeah, I see I have my whole thing laid out over here. I didn't write a backstory because, you know, it's my life, but yeah. Yeah. Like if I got isekai'd into a D&D world, that's what I would look at. Considering you're talking D&D, what do you feel is currently missing in the campaign as you're behind your screen with your stands? You can talk freely. What is missing? Is there anything missing? Is anything missing from the kit? I guess me personally, I don't know if anything's missing per se, but it might be nice to maybe speed things up a little bit if that's possible. I don't know, maybe it's just like the past like 3 or 4 sessions we've done where I've just felt like we've been meandering, but then again, that makes sense because we've been like out in the caves and stuff. No, it's fine. That's okay. It's convoluted, that's why I am trying to iron now. Yeah. I understand, like, you have your own vision and you want to, like, do your own thing. I totally respect that. Like, you know, believe me, I've been there. So I understand. I don't want to, like, undermine that's the story you want to tell by saying, like, oh, cut this shit out, whatever, let's move on. Yeah. No, it's cool. I'm willing to... I just kind of... Yeah, I agree. It's been slow, but that's because massive change of cast. Also true. Yeah. We've had to adjust to that as well. That is also true. I'm a little bit... I gotta say, I'm a little bit scared of going to Winterdeep. Winterdeep? What the fuck? Waterdeep, sorry. I combine Neverwinter and Waterdeep together. Winterdeep, yeah. Sorry. Winterdeep. I'm a little scared to go to Waterdeep because it's such a huge city. And honestly, like as a DM, I would really not want to set any campaign in Waterdeep because there's just so much shit. There's just so much stuff there. You know, there's like so many services and factions and fucking, you know, people and groups and buildings and this and that and just yeah. In that kind of environment, anything is possible, and therefore I have to plan for everything. I don't know how you're gonna do it, man, but if you got a way, you know. I feel like in that environment, I will need to try my best to not try to exploit the fact that we're in a giant city where literally every service is available. Because, like, you know, I don't want to put you on the spot. Yeah, I know it's a challenge that I want to try. Okay. Literally the biggest city in the entire fucking game. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. But it's your game. You run it how you want to. You know, it's what it is. What it is. Is what it is. Is what it do. No, I honestly I can't. I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. Yeah. Anything you want to achieve or change while I kill them all? Well, I'll be besides killing him off. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm not too. The way things have shaken out now that Anya's gone, I don't really like the fact that I'll kill 'em all is just stuck with this random homebrew god. Also, this god is kind of a dick, and like, and he keeps telling me to do what he wants, but he won't explain what that is, and I'm just like, okay, then I'll just do what the hell I want and hope it fits. I don't know, like, yeah, it's weird. It's I don't know. Either tell me what to do, or let's get rid of him and let's switch out again. Let's go god shopping. Let's go. or like have Lathander be like, well, look who decided to show up again. I wasn't too good for you before. Yeah. It's a plainly fight? I guess. I don't know. It seems, it's fine. I guess. Whatever. It's just like I wasn't going to do that anyway. I don't know. I was kind of expecting something else. But it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Kill them all. True. True. It's true. Common relationship problems. Lack of communication. True. Regarding the God thing, there is a plan in place. Okay. Then it's all bueno. It's all super bueno. Yeah, honestly, I guess the one thing I would like to see is maybe a bit more of every character's personal stuff come in. For example, Illyria hasn't really had her personal life creep up in the game at all thus far. Don't question it, Ovaid. Yeah, but like none of her past has ever come back in any meaningful way. To be fair, not everyone else's hasn't really come up either. I guess it's not that kind of game. I guess it would have been nice. It would be nice if maybe some characters from some people's pasts show up, or like Dilligaff, or I don't know, like anyone. Yeah. But that's just like that's the way that I like to run things. I like to always, like, whenever I do a campaign, I always try to like get the players' stuff wedged in there somehow, so that like they feel like they're also crafting the world partially. That's why Winter Deep is important. Yeah. I think due to changes we had to slow down. Yeah, probably. That makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, it's great. No notes. It's perfect. Stop. Anyway. Yeah. I will say that, like, for me personally, I genuinely feel like I've had to catch myself, even in this campaign as well. I've had to catch myself on a couple of times that I felt I was hogging the spotlight a bit. And it's like, and in my head, it's like, it's not that I'm trying to be the center of attention. It's just more like I'm just so excited to play this character, and it's just so much fun that I want to do it more. But like sometimes I have to catch myself and be like, okay, this would be funny for me to do, but other people need to speak as well, so I need to like temper myself. But otherwise, yeah, I would actually. I think like of the five of us, I probably suffer the most from main character syndrome. The most, I think. And I really have to like fucking tone it down, you know? I mean, you're a speaker. Yeah, sure. But I also like want to make sure that everyone else has a chance to shine. And lately I've also been like trying to do this thing where I get all Kill 'Em All to like get curious about other characters' stuff, you know? Like try to like inquire more about them, just to give them a chance to like reveal more of their backstory, or, you know, that type of thing. Just because then people have a chance to, you know, yeah. Hey, OG, what's up? Wie geht's dir, Pavel? Ja. Guten Nacht. I don't speak German. But yeah. Want to make sure everybody gets a chance to shine. Ihm geht's gut. Ja. Jawohl. He asked, how are you? Oh, well then, yeah, gut. Ich bin gut. It tut mir leid. What's that word? What's the word again? Where you're sorry. How do you say sorry again? Enjoyment. This one.
Entschuldigung.
Oh, Entschuldigung. No, what Es tut mir leid. How do you say that? How do you spell that? Like that? Es tut mir leid? Really? Es tut mir leid. That's the one. Yeah. I mentioned a couple of times when I love this show right here. Tu as passé une bonne journée? C'est pas mal. C'est journée pas mal. But so yeah, I mentioned before that I'm a big fan of this show right here, Dark, the German time travel TV show, and very often there's like two things they say all the goddamn time in that show. One of them is "Es tut mir leid," and the other one is Zukunft, which is the word for future. Zukunft. Wait, what's the past? Maybe I remember the past as well. Vergangenheit. Okay, they don't say that one that as often, but yeah, they say the future like a lot. They say Zukunft. It's like I learned those two phrases. Sic mundus creatus est. Yeah. They always say "Es tut mir leid" and Zukunft. It's the two words I fucking. Vergangenheit, Zukunft. Yeah, it's a great show, by the way. Fantastic show. I say this every single time, and yeah, Mikkel. Yeah, Mikkel. Yeah, this show is fantastic. It is, as far as I'm aware, the best piece of time travel fiction I have ever witnessed. Like book, movie, TV, whatever. In terms of the cleanness of its writing, it is almost airtight in terms of the plot. When you write time travel stories, there's a tendency to often forget certain plot points or just kind of like gloss over stuff mechanically. This show planned everything ahead of time. There is not a single detail out of place except for like 2 or 3. There's a few little plot holes here and there and a few little contrivances that are like, okay, whatever, but holy shit. Okay, I'm off to travel the plains of sleep. Yeah, take care, Purpose and Era. Thanks for stopping by. Seriously, this show, it is almost airtight in terms of like every single detail lining up, being explained, being covered later, totally making sense. Like, woo, my God, it's perfect. It's damn near perfect. If I may be allowed a few spoilers, there's a couple of details that I think are a little bit dumb, but, whatever. Yeah, it's a good show. Good show. Also, one thing that this show does incredibly well is it demonstrates not 1, not 2, but 3 possible forms of time travel that could be like in a multiverse. There's one movie that taught me Das war ein Befehl. Das war ein Befehl. What does that mean? Das war ein Befehl. Anyway, yeah. So here, hold on. I'm gonna do a little demonstration here for you. That was weird what just happened, but okay, fine, whatever. Hold on, I'm almost done. You get the idea. You get the idea. Hopefully. Okay. Time travel mechanics in fiction. Yes. So I consider myself to be a bit of a time travel aficionado, if you will. And actually, hold on. Let me bring this in a little bit more so we can do it for the clip. We can do it for the clip. I can't do it in a minute, but I'm going to try my best. So, here, hold on. Actually, hold on. Before we do that, let me just line them up a little bit so it's a bit easier to understand. Wait. Okay. You forgot the Back to the Future model? I did not. Okay. So, I'm a bit of a time travel aficionado. And, oh, actually, let me label these as well. Hold on. Okay, so I consider myself to be a bit of a time travel aficionado, and I have noticed that, broadly speaking, you can put every single time travel story you've ever heard into these three broad models, based on the way that they talk about their causality. Back to the Future is a single universe model where actions in the past alter the future? No? No. Back to the Future would fall into the third model, Multiverse Unlimited. Let me explain. So, our first model is single universe. In the single universe time travel, every action is essentially predetermined and they create a closed loop, meaning that any attempt to go back in time or forward in time to alter the timeline only reinforces it. If you go back in time to try to prevent something from happening, all you will end up doing is reinforcing that, as in, like, you always were there. Like, the universe as you know it already included you going back in time to do whatever it is you were meant to do. So, classic case, like, you try to go back in time and kill your grandpa, turns out you are your grandpa, or something like that, like you were always meant to be there. So in this universe, time travel is only possible for a finite number of jumps, for a finite number of people in order to reinforce the timeline, and therefore causality isn't broken. Then you have Multiverse Limited. The minimum number is, of course, 2. In this instance, what happens is when you time travel, let's say you go back in time, you are going into an alternate timeline. That is to say, an alternate universe that is, X number of years in the past that your version did not include you going back in time, but this one does. In practical terms, what this means is that in this universe, what happens is you disappear and are forever gone. And in this universe, what happens is some person with your memories appears out of thin air, assuming that they have, traveled. But really what's happening is just like, it's teleportation, basically, but like alternate dimension hopping. There is no necessary way to prove that the person who disappeared here is the same person who appeared here, but for practical purposes, since this person carries the memories of this person, we might as well assume that they've traveled. Although it could be just a death machine, who knows? The important thing is that in a limited multiverse model, events that happen in this alternate universe end up reinforcing this one. So let's say this person goes like over here, and by this point they're like, do something here to travel forward in time, they end up going here instead. So in this model, again, both timelines are preserved in terms of their causality, but they require a little bit of dimension hopping between them in order to make it work. This is a very rare model because usually with dimension hopping, you always hop to a different one entirely, but sometimes, if you're clever enough, you can write a model where like there's two parallel worlds, but they complement each other in terms of causality. The most common model is, of course, Multiverse Unlimited, wherein basically every time you travel back in time to change something, you're always hopping into an alternate universe and there's no going back. You never get to go back to your own universe, again, for the same reason, because if you go back in time, you're going back to a world that includes you appearing in the past in it, which didn't happen in yours. So necessarily, things are already different. Like, even by virtue of you displacing the air molecules in the space that you occupy, that will already have a ripple effect that, changes everything about that particular universe. My only issue with this model is that because there's an infinite number of, or is theoretically an infinite number of universes, pretty much how Stargate works. Yeah, basically, yeah. I haven't seen Stargate, but basically that's the idea. Yeah. My only issue with the unlimited multiverse model is that it's in terms of writing, it's the easiest one to do because you don't actually have to worry about the consequences of your actions, and B, usually writers don't bother with this, but there has to be some sort of explanatory model for why the hops that are being done are limited. Because the thing about infinity is, if something is possible in any one of these parallel universes, it is happening an infinite number of times in all of them simultaneously all the time, because that's what infinity means. If it's possible to hop between alternate timelines or alternate dimensions, then it is happening an infinite number of times in an infinite number of universes all the time forever. Since that's not happening, something else must be happening instead. Now, I actually had a debate with a friend of mine a little while ago about this, and she pointed out that it is possible for the universe to be infinite in terms of scope and the number of dimensions, but limited in that dimension hopping quality. That is to say, it may be that like there's some sort of mechanism about the multiverse that is preventing every single kind of hop from happening all the time forever. And that would be what explains the Back to the Future situation, essentially. So basically every time that Marty, like anytime we watch a character jump from one time to another, what they're basically doing is dimension hopping. They're not actually they're not changing the timeline so much as they are just jumping into an alternate time universe where the thing that they changed, affected the timeline in some way. But they never get to go back. They never get to go back to their original time. They never, because again, that universe never includes them coming back to it, unless it does, but it usually doesn't. Does that make sense? It's always just like somewhere else, basically. Yeah. And what I love about Dark, the reason I mentioned, not really though, because when they do stuff in the past, it directly affects items from a different timeline when suggested in a different timeline. Wait, what? It's been a while since I've seen the Back to the Future movies. No. Like, if they do fix stuff in their timeline, again, they're not going to that one. They're going to the one that they changed. Because again, if they, how to explain this? Okay, just a second. Where's my draw tool? Hold on. There we go. Again, if something needed to be changed, then they have to go back in time to change it, right? But if they change it, it doesn't need to be changed. So they couldn't have gone back. So if they do come back, they can't go back to the same timeline which they left to change the thing, because then they wouldn't have the reason to change it. That's the causality loop. That's the paradox. Therefore, they must always be coming back to a different timeline, one that they fixed, but that does not include them going back in time in the first place. It can't, because both things can't be true at the same time. You can't go back in time to change something if it's already been changed. Like the newspaper they bring from the future to the past, it changes the real time on their hands as they do stuff. Same with the photograph. Oh, right. Well, that's just stupid. That's that's just stupid movie magic. Right. That's just dumb. That's not how any of that works. Yeah. In reality, all of those items would instantly disappear the moment that the prerequisites for them being created would not see. Yeah, that's just dumb. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. First of all, yeah, if there were changes like on that level, they would be instantaneous. That's only possible if they're on the same timeline. No, actually, it's impossible in any of these models. What they show there is impossible in any of them. First of all, again, if there were changes like that, they would be instantaneous. They wouldn't fade slowly. That's not how time works. Secondly, they might not even notice those changes to begin with, because they would also be affected by the causality of events. And thirdly, again, when we talk about timelines, like, have you ever heard the butterfly effect? Are you familiar with the butterfly effect? That's what I said. You're not including the Back to the Future model. It's a different model. Oh, yeah, it's a stupid model. Right. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. It's the dumb model. Yeah. So I guess the Back to the Future model would be like multiverse limited, but like blendy, sort of like blendy, like Yeah, blendy multiverse. Yeah, it's not good. Not good. But yeah, the butterfly effect, for those who don't know, is the general principle that I forgot who said it, but like a butterfly's wings flapping in Japan can eventually lead to a series of a chain of events that cause a tornado to erupt in in America, right? So imagine that plus time travel, and again, like, it's not dumb. It's just a singular timeline which erases the future as the past is altered. It's not fixed. No. It's actually really, really dumb. It's actually super dumb. Because think about this, okay? Think about it. Like there was a sequence where what's his face? Where the in the first movie where they look at the picture. Hold on. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the spot. Right, okay. So this is really stupid. Because if Marty doesn't, like, if Marty at some point ceases to exist, then he can't be here fading away. He either exists or he doesn't. He can't, like, be in some transient state of, like, having been there. And, more importantly, if he didn't exist, then he couldn't have gone back in time in the first place. So again, causality loop. The only way this makes sense is if he's going to an alternate timeline that includes a Marty McFly showing up in the 1950s. Just like out of thin air. Like, this doesn't make it, yeah, that's not how this works. Also, if he's the only person in the picture, that's because he hasn't passed the point of no return yet. Oh, for fuck's sake. Also, if he's the only person in the picture, why would someone take a picture of a well? The picture would itself disappear. If the object of the photo, and if you're going to say, well, somebody can take a picture of a well, but, like, would they, though? If that original person's intent was to take a picture of Marty, how would the timeline account for the fact that that person suddenly gets the idea to take a picture of a well with nobody in front of it instead? That's a contrivance, like, beyond belief. The photo itself would fade away, not just him in it. Because again, why would somebody take a picture of a well with nobody in front of it? If the original intent was to, take a picture of somebody there. Like, here, a person who doesn't exist, let's go to the fucking well and, you know what I mean? Yo, sup, losers, talking about nerd stuff again? You know it! And that's why you got no bitches. It's true. It's true. That's exactly why. No. Lots of bitches like nerdy shit. That's not the reason why. It's because I got no riz. I need that nerd riz. But hey, Ashes, yeah, I was just explaining the time travels. The 3 time travel models. Unless the original intention was to take a picture of the well and Marty just happened to be in the picture as well. I guess. But again, that's a contrivance on just a fucking ridiculous scale. You have your riz. The reason is you're a nerd. The nerd riz. That's right. Nerd riz 100. But yeah, so the reason I made this whole model is because Dark, the time travel TV show, actually shows all 3 of these models. That's actually like the craziest thing about it. This TV show literally shows all 3: single universe, multiverse limited, and multiverse unlimited. It sort of like reveals itself layer by layer. First you think it's single universe, then multiverse limited, and then multiverse unlimited, and it's fucking nuts. And it's like nearly perfect in its construction. It's really good. You make yourself a nerd, it feels like? Well, I mean, I wear that badge proudly. Yeah, I love being a nerd. I'm into nerdy stuff, and I love the general principle of it, yeah. By my definition, a nerd is just anybody who obsesses over a hobby or a piece of pop culture or really anything to the point of, like, the exclusion of a healthy balance of other activities, I guess to put it that way. Bitches don't like it, and you like bitches. Sounds paradoxical. There's lots of bitches that like nerds. Are you kidding me? Lots of bitches are into nerds. They're mostly in the United States and other Western countries, but lots of bitches are into nerds. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Look at all the fucking... Fuck, I don't know, man. What's a... I haven't seen one in my entire life. Okay. Well... I mean, that's a pretty small sample size, wouldn't you say? Single universe like that makes no sense, really, if you're thinking about it. Like, why wouldn't someone go back to assassinate Hitler? You know what's funny, actually? Ashes the womanizer. No. Ashes is just a kid. A kid that we love. It's all right. It's also prone to a lot of paradoxes. No, not necessarily. There's... no. So, the idea would be that if the universe is a single universe model, and only a certain number of jumps are possible, then if somebody would try to go back in time to kill Hitler, something would either prevent them from doing it in the past or before they even got there. Like, the machine would explode, or someone would shoot them, or they like trip over. Like, something about the causality of events would prevent it from happening to the point where nobody would attempt it anymore, basically, is the idea. Does that make sense? I'm actually the last one to ask about advice about women. I don't have any. Well, there you go. Yeah. But then what renders time travel completely useless? Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah. That's the idea. I was thinking about this. I have this idea for a story that I really want to write. You can't affect the past, then why go there? Exactly, yeah. Well, you wouldn't. That's the idea. Or like a certain number of people would, but then nobody else. But I had this idea for a story about a time travel plot where, like, it's kind of like Looper, but a little bit different. It's also a single universe. And the idea is this kid walks down the street and then he sees an old version of himself die. He's about 30 years older. And then a gangster kidnaps him and basically tells him that because the universe is this universe is a single closed system, a closed loop system, because he only dies 30 years later, he is functionally immortal. Like, time will not permit him to die before he is destined to die 30 years later. And so this gangster basically says, like, I'm going to make you do all kinds of crazy, wild shit for me, like rob banks and, like, kill people and stuff. And if you don't, I'm going to murder your family. Because you can't kill him because he's immortal. So basically, like, exploiting the fact that the guy is immortal because he has to die later, not right away, type of deal. And so I had this idea for, like, a story where, like, this kid is trying to figure out a way to get out of this, like, being, yeah. I think it's kind of fun. I had, like, a bunch of plot twists in mind. Like, yeah. Well, like, what if you could exploit the fact that, yeah, you get what I'm saying. Something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, okay. This one might this one might get me in trouble. So obviously, Hitler's a bad guy. That goes without saying. The Nazis are bad. We're very much Antifa over here, full on. But the infamous but. Having said that, though, yeah. And then tomorrow the channel gets fucking shut down. Yeah. I thought about it a little bit. I gotta say, all things. I mean, obviously we don't know what would have happened. We're no snitch as well. We don't know what would have happened, but I think there's a case to be made that if Adolf Hitler was assassinated before he had a chance to do any of the really heinous shit like the Holocaust or start World War II, that things in aggregate, like on the whole, might have actually gone a whole lot worse for the world for a number of reasons. I'll give you a couple. There's several of them, but I'll give you a few. The two off the top of my head I can think about. It might have actually gone worse. Have you seen this? Wait, oh, did somebody already make this video? Oh, wait. What is this? Adolf Hitler on drugs? Oh, yeah. I haven't seen this video specifically, but yeah, this is pretty common knowledge. Yeah. Jerking off with this pistol? Oh, jeez. Yeah. This I know. Yeah. Most of the Nazi high cabinet were like, yeah, they're like coked off their fucking minds. They were all kinds of weird shit. Yeah. Yeah. Drugged out of there. They were super incompetent. But okay. So. So off the top of my head, there's two reasons why Adolf Hitler being allowed to be as reprehensible as he was, and like all the stuff that they did, kind of, sort of, it could have been worse if he wasn't allowed to do that. There's some conspiracy nuts out there that the reason why AH evaded so many assassination attempts is because time travelers who knew things were going. But yeah, so two main reasons. So it's important to understand how many Russian men died in World War II. It's a crazy number. Like, it is more than like all the other allies combined by a long shot. Okay? Like, by a crazy, crazy long shot. It's actually kind of insane. Like, it's not even close. It's not even, like, yeah. Oh, actually, China lost quite a few as well. Yeah. The Soviet Union lost like, was it 24 million? Just like a crazy number of dudes. Just an absolute crazy number, okay? Now, it's no secret that the Soviet Union was also very fascist. And so imagine what would have happened if all of those men didn't die in World War II, and specifically didn't die fighting a fascist army. Well, then Stalin would have been in a much different position militarily to also be a menace on the world, and potentially a much, much worse menace for a number of different reasons. Well, they liberated the whole Europe, and they add some numbers to the count. Well, yeah, that's my point. So, had an imminent threat like the Axis of Evil not shown up, it's very possible that we would have had to suffer an even worse war once the Soviets got, technologically up to speed. And that would have been bad news bears for everybody. There's the Wednesday for China. The entire Chinese history is like Yellow River flooded. Yeah. And the other big reason that it's kind of good is because it made fascism look bad in the contemporary world. You have to understand that in the early 20th century, fascism was actually on the rise in a number of countries, including Great Britain, including the United States of America. Both of these countries had massive fascist sympathizers and people who were trying to form fascist political parties to try to take over, basically undermine democracy. And one of the main reasons they failed was because Hitler was making fascism look bad for everybody else. Of course, the Nazis kind of just took fascism to its logical conclusion and therefore gave the game away. And so American fascist sympathizers lost their support. British fascist sympathizers lost their support. Had this not happened, there's a very good chance that maybe not the United States, but at the very least Great Britain could have very easily fallen into fascism. It was damn near close. If I remember correctly, Churchill was sympathetic. Some American presidents were sympathetic. Like, it was like touch and go there, I think what made fascism look bad was the concentration camps for the large part. Well, that's my point. Yeah, that's my point. Exactly. It happened in a country that wasn't influential enough to quell the popular dissent. But had it happened in the United States of America, I don't know. Could have been different. So Hitler's a good guy. Well, my point is just that it is unfortunate how many people had to die to prove the point, but Churchill supported fascism because it was opposite of communism, I think so. Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, a lot of people were misguided about a lot of stuff. Yeah. And again, to be clear, what was happening in the Soviet Union was also its form of fascism. So like it was just fascism everywhere. It was just like the name of the game. State capitalism, I guess you can call it. Like economically, it was state capitalism, but like societally, it was a form of fascism as well. Fascist art, for example, wasn't very popular, but the exhibition of decadent art was very popular. Yeah, that was a concerted effort, actually. It's kind of we can get into the weeds of this, but my point is this, that there's a good argument to be made that had the Nazis not been allowed to be as monstrous as they shown themselves in history. Again, the worst possible scenario is if the United States would have gone fascist. That would have been the worst case scenario. But then on top of that as well, if the Soviet Union managed to keep all of its military, all of its infantry, then we would have had a hot war. Because keep in mind as well, German rocketry and nuclear arms as well were still being developed in Germany. That would have still happened, and it's very likely that we would have had like the worst case scenario where both the US is fascist and the Soviet Union is fascist, and they both have nuclear weapons, and there is no pretense for them to keep the peace. And they're just fucking lobbing shit and irradiating everything. Because the thing about fascism is it's a political ideology that's kind of pro-death. If you're familiar with Umberto Eco's 14 points, Umberto Eco, I believe, was a historian and sociologist, and he outlined the 14 points of fascism. And the one that I want to point out here, rejection of analytical criticism, where is it? Yeah, the cult of heroic death. So, under a fascist political ideology, to die for your cause was considered to be like a heroic thing. And it is a very, very dangerous. That's where the 14 comes from in 1488? Oh wow, it's funny, Hazunia, that's actually like flagged as a hate thing. Well, if I remember correctly, 88 is a dog whistle for Adolf Hitler himself for some reason. Yeah, maybe. Maybe the 14 is added to it. Yeah, possibly. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, neo-Nazis are really good at cycling their dog whistles. 14 stands for AH? Oh, I thought it was 88. Okay, fine, whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so like dying heroically is considered to be like a good thing under fascism. So imagine if you have a superpower that like ideologically isn't afraid to die and kill like on a massive global scale just to destroy their enemy. Now imagine there's two of them and they're the biggest massive superpowers on the fucking planet. It's not good. No, it was the 14 words. Oh, thanks, OG. Thank you so much. Yeah. Man, Twitch's filters are actually pretty on point. I gotta say, I'm surprised that they're so up to date. Like if you type 14 words, it filters it out. Huh. They're really trying to keep the neo-Nazis out. I love it. Yeah. 88 is the Hitler one, and then 14 is probably the 14 points, most likely, yeah. Or 14 words, maybe? Maybe 14 words, yeah. "14 Words," also 1488, is a reference to two slogans originated by David Eden Lane, one of the founding members of the defunct white supremacist terrorist organization, The Order. 88 precepts, okay. The primary slogan for the 14 words. Okay. So this is the actual... Wait, that's not 14 words, that's like barely set... Wait, is it No. I guess it's 14 words altogether. Okay. Good night, Powell. Hey, Dipegrat. Yeah. It's some numerology thing, which is kind of down. Yeah. Crypto-fascists tend to do that very often, yeah. But I suppose the entire point is to make it cryptic. Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's kind of interesting that... Asha, stop. I have to keep like allowing you to say 14 words. 'Cause it's a dog whistle. No, whatever. Dude, come on. Jesus. I'm checking the auto mod? Okay, fine. What was I saying? Okay, do you want me to allow it or not? There we go, yeah. What was I saying? I was saying something? I don't think it needs to be allowed over and over. Yeah. No, he's just testing it, but still. So I've talked a couple of times before about conspiratorial thinking because it's one of the things that I've kind of delved into when I was working in the casino industry, because there's a lot of conspiracy theory, nuts out there. And And so I've learned a little bit about like the kinds of conspiratorial thinking that exist. There's like a couple of broad categories. And it kind of falls into the general desires that conspiracy theories tend to alleviate in people. So one of the very common ones that often occurs is people who don't have a lot going for them in terms of like a good social life or goals achieved and stuff like that, need to feel like they're special for some reason. They need to find a reason to think of themselves as exceptional. And oftentimes what they'll do is what I like to call special knowledge. They will gatekeep certain kinds of knowledge and pretend like they're better than everyone because they know that special knowledge and nobody else does. And in the case of crypto-fascists, that's a very common trope, that they think that because they're so good at layering their messages in all these like, cryptic codes and stuff, that makes them better than everyone else because they get it and nobody else does, right? The most common one actually that I saw recently, there was a video about the Bored Ape Yacht Club. There's a really, this is a great video. I'm not gonna show you the whole thing. Yep, the video by Fillion. Yep, that's the one, exactly. I'm gonna put it in YouTube chat as well. Yeah, the Bored Ape Nazi Club. Some of the evidence that he presents is like a little bit circumstantial, but it is actually kind of crazy how much evidence there is that the Bored Ape Yacht Club appears to have been founded by, well, basically fascists, if not full-on Nazis, and mired in like layers upon layers upon layers of obfuscation. Yeah, there's some fucking shit here. The one this one right here, I think really like this one to me is the silver bullet. Like yeah, what the fuck? Like come on. Yeah. Or maybe they're just big trolls. This one was the hardest proof to me. Yeah. I mean, Ashes, okay, I'll put it to you this way. If, like, even if we're going by the most charitable interpretation that this, all of the different circumstantial bits of evidence was just one massive troll, where's the joke? Like, what's the joke? Like, oh, haha, we tricked you into doing a bunch of research that makes us look like Nazis? Oh, wow, hilarious. It's like, I don't know, man. It's Notorious one, that's why it tells me it may be a troll. Yeah, but like, where's the joke? And more importantly, is it worth it? Like, is the joke that funny that it's worth spreading like that much shit? You know? Like, people get hurt over this stuff, you know? Like, these ideas are harmful. I don't know, they're 4chaners? Okay, so like, the damage is the same. Like, that's the important thing to understand. Yeah. Like, even if they're not full-on Nazis, they might as well be based on, like, the damage they're doing. So, like, who gives a shit, you know? Like, fuck. It's still bad. Like, you know, being irresponsible and accidentally shooting a guy with a gun is still bad, even if you didn't intend to shoot him. You know, it's like, it's still not good. So, poor social awareness lead to poor jokes. I don't know. Yes, but, like, is that meant as an excuse? Like, is there a functional difference in terms of the effect between somebody who causes a lot of harm and suffering, but just thought it was a joke and didn't get it, versus somebody who like intentionally did it? Yeah, it's like, yeah. Another good video from Fillion is The Puppets of Steak. The Puppets of Steak. Oh, Steak was the what was it? What was the Steak again? Wait, you mean online gambling? This one? Yeah. Oh, it's our game. Hey, it's us. Hey, that's funny. Yeah. I haven't seen this video specifically, but I can imagine it's. I wonder if I can see myself in here. Probably not, right? I know that guy. No, they probably got some other crypto casino with no personality. Approved. So kids can gamble their mom's money. Yeah. Yeah. I fucking hate my job, but at least I'm comfortable in the notion that I'm not supporting a cancerous industry. It was promoted among Twitch celebs with minor auditions, such as XQC. Disgusting shit, all you know? Yeah. Well, that's capitalism. That's capitalism. Anything to make a buck, including ruining people's lives. Woohoo! Man, don't you just love it when your economic system that's meant to like support everyone and provide basic living standards for everybody is based on making money by any means necessary instead of actually providing value for people? So people are incentivized to lie, cheat, steal, break laws, mend laws, fucking, exploit people's weaknesses just to make a quick buck, all in the name of progress. Isn't that great? I love it, man. Sometimes you even need to get a buck for it. Yeah, just, it's great. I love it. I'm going to say this as the Timelines NFT. I'm proud of it. I actually like this one a lot. This one came out nicely. I like this one a lot. Some are happy with just ruining other people's lives. Yes. Under any economic model, you will always have assholes who just like to be mean and to ruin people's lives. Sure. But this is one economic model in which it's incentivized by people who aren't even, like, people who don't think they are hurting people. You know? Like, there's lots of businessmen out there. There's lots of CEOs and multi-billionaires out there who think they're not hurting people by their business practices. That's what's fucked up. Nobody thinks they're the bad guy, you know? Jeff Bezos doesn't think he's a bad guy. Elon Musk doesn't think he's a bad guy. Like, that's what's fucked up. Pavel looks like a good guy. He seemed like a guy with no foes, but damn, this guy hates capitalism as much as Lenin did. Or even more. It's bad. Trainwrecks made $350 million from advertising it on his stream. And look how happy he is. No. It's nice to be financially stable. That's the unfortunate, yeah. I mean, we've talked about this 1,000 times before. I feel like I've, going around in circles, but, as long as, Pavel, in your opinion, would you share as much hatred for capitalism if it came from a wealthier family? Well, it's hard to say. I mean, I want to say yes, but obviously it's hard to tell. I think if I did, I would still hate this shit. It's, well, the main factor would be, would I still get the same quality of education? Like if I, because the thing is, like, we were pretty well off growing up. Like I didn't want for. I mean, I wasn't like rich, but I certainly like, I was never hungry. I never had to work up until I like became an adult. For example, I went to university. My father paid for everything. He paid for tuition. He paid for living expenses. He paid for spending money for me. I never had to like pay for any of that stuff. Yeah, you were studying abroad. Yeah, I went to a fancy, like almost my entire education was private school that my father paid for. So I was well off, and I still fucking hate capitalism. So I make of that what you will. I think it's really unfair to frame everybody who hates capitalism as being salty, like they are only mad because they're not the ones winning. Because the issue isn't that they're not winning; it's that somebody has to lose. That's the problem. Like, capitalism necessarily requires there being winners and losers, and that's what's fucked up. How does someone like Bridget Ziegler fit into this? She literally has no motive other than to hurt people. Bridget Ziegler. I have no idea who that is. Bridget. Who is Bridget Ziegler? I have never heard of this woman in my life. Is she like a Fox News host or something, or who is she? Well, I mean, that's already not good. That's already not good. What is she like most famous for? What is she? Of course, she's not fucking X. American politician who is on the school board for the Sarasota County, Florida. Ah, yes, yeah. She's evil. Yeah, she's a terrorist, not much else. Yeah. That's pretty bad. Yeah. Well. How does this filter in? So people like that will definitely exist in any economic model. There are people who are afraid of change and like things a certain way. But It is also important to say, also important to note, that the Republican Party of the United States of America has an incentive not to actually accomplish any of the things that they seek out to do. Case in point, recently there was a situation where there was the border stuff where like the Texas governor like defied the federal government and like started like deporting people and yada yada yada, and Biden had a constitutional right as dictated by the Supreme Court to fucking crack down and whatever, but instead offered a sort of a compromise, like a sort of a reach across the aisle bill that would give a bunch of funding to border control and blah blah blah. Basically trying to call their bluff. It's like, hey, Republicans, you want to do this border stuff? Well, here's a bill, so why don't you do it? They turned it the fuck down. Why? You would figure that like they would want to do it because that's the thing they want to do. No, there was two reasons. Number one, they didn't want Biden to take credit for something that they wanted to do themselves. They wanted to leave that for Trump, so that's already kind of ghoulish. Number two, they don't actually want to solve the border problem, because if they do, then they have to come up with something else to platform on. They actually really like it when the enemy is perpetual and unending, because that always gives them something to fearmonger over, right? That's also the beautiful thing about That's also the insidious thing about fascism is that the enemy under fascism always has to be like at the same time weak and strong, like pathetic, and mock-worthy, but also like infinitely powerful and like always threatening. Like fear is the main motivating force of a fascist political movement, and the Republicans have decided to fear foreigners and LGBTQ people for the most part. There's like the big two groups, right? The browns and the gays, as it were. Yeah, they always need someone to target. Exactly, and so it really benefits them if the group that they're targeting doesn't have to change all the time. They don't have to like switch their rhetoric up every now and then. It's very convenient for them if it's the same group over and over again. And since the United States, like most modern countries, rely on immigration to a certain extent for the growth of their economy, immigrants will always be coming to the United States, so they're always a convenient target for racists. Unless they're white. That's a bit tougher. It helps the Republicans if they're brown. Or black, Or, some other color besides white. Obviously, racism is a separate thing, but again, under capitalism, there are economic incentives to maintain a certain order, Like, at the moment, these institutions are going hand in hand. Pablo, do you have an opinion on skateboarding by any chance? Well, I mean, insofar as I guess. I think it's cool. I think it's all right. I remember when I was a teenager, I tried to get into skateboarding. I used to watch a lot of the X Channel. Is that what it's called? X Channel? The one where they had the X Games. The extreme sports channel. And I was really into that. Yeah, I watched like all the sports and all that stuff. The only one I couldn't get into was surfing. I thought surfing was dumb. X Games, yeah, I watched X Games. Yeah, I was into that. That was my shit. I think it was just called the Extreme Channel. I forget. Anyway, and I remember like when I was 13. Oh god, this is so embarrassing. Cool. Did you ever land your first ollie? Let me tell you. So, I never. Only once in my life did I ever try to get on a skateboard properly, and I tried to do one ollie and like flipped over and fell over and like just completely like never touched it again. It just wasn't for me. But I did have roller skates, and I thought for a hot second, I thought maybe I'd get into like roller skate tricks, like grinding and stuff and all that, whatever. And I remember this is one of my most embarrassing personal moments, so I'm just laying my soul out here for you. I was 13 years old. I remember this so vividly. I was 13. I really wanted to go to a skate park and to try to like do some tricks. And my mother, bless her soul, drove me over to a local skate park here in Riga. And Night Scar God says hello. What are you? I don't get it. Anyway, yeah, so my mother, bless her soul, she drives me over to the skate park, and it was like a medium-sized skate park. They had a half pipe, I think. They had some like bumps and roads and some like rails and whatnot, and some hills. And I'm not sure how long I stayed in the car, but I think I sat in that car for like a good hour before I mustered up the courage to even step outside. Mind you, I didn't know anybody there, right? And I was like the most socially awkward kid, like just the worst. Believe it or not, I was much more socially awkward than I am now. And eventually I get out, and I'm just like standing there. Did you have any riding bases before entering the park? No, I knew how to ride, sure, but I never bothered like jumping on rails. I knew how to like skate. I knew how to, I had some like basic skating tricks, skills. But I get over there, and I'm standing in the corner, and there's like 10, 15 other kids out there of various ages. I see some kids my age. I see some like younger kids. I see some like, full on 18-year-olds on bikes doing like spinny things on the half pipe, whatever. 2003. I was 13 in 2003. And it was 2003. And in the 2 or so hours that I think I spent at that skate park, I rode in once. And I remember there was like one little rail that was like a foot high, and I mustered up the courage and the energy to just like hop over it, and then I skated away. And that was all that I could do. I was so terrified of looking stupid in front of all these kids. They were so intimidating. And I was just shaking. And I just jumped over that rail and then immediately just like raced towards the car, jumped right in, and just crying my eyes out while my mother consoled me. And I was just like, I'm so scared. And she tried to get me to come out there. I was like, no, it's fine. Everyone starts somewhere. It's okay. Like, I'm sure the kids will, they're not going to laugh at you, blah, blah. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And we drove away. And I never went back to a skate park ever again in my life. Ever. And just dropped the whole thing. To this day, it is one of my deepest shames. Yeah. What the fuck is this piece of shit? What? Nothing wrong with that? Well, it's a little embarrassing. What's happening here? Why are we watching this? What? I'm roasting a guy over here? Okay, gotcha. Okay. But yeah, that was a very embarrassing moment for me. And so after that, I just kind of fell off the whole idea of doing tricks. Although I do remember when we went snowboarding, me and my brother, we did like do some jumps here and there, and we did some grinds and stuff. So like we did like a little bit of snowboarding, but that's about it. Yeah. It was a tough one. You tried something and found it out it wasn't for you. No, the thing is, like, honestly, it could have been for me. It really could have been for me. I was so scared of embarrassing myself in front of, a bunch of strangers that I didn't really allow myself to, try to learn how to do stuff. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't literally mustered only one hop. That was my big mistake. I should have tried. I don't know, honestly, in hindsight, I don't think I missed much because I got into dance pretty soon afterwards. And then I got into into breakdance, and that's basically the same thing, but without props, right? Like, you don't need a device. It's just you just do tricks on your own, right? So, in the end, I kind of lived out my fantasy vicariously a different way, but yeah. I feel like with those kinds of sports, in my mind, those extreme sports are in this weird kind of mid-space between sport and art, wherein it's not really a game where there's a set goal in mind. I guess it could be like gymnastics in which execution is the thing, and you're just judging based on the cleanliness of execution, I suppose. But that's not usually the point of extreme sports either. Sometimes it's just about being brave enough to try something crazy that no one else has tried, right? But how do we evaluate that? So it's not really a game, and it's not really art either. Or I mean, it can be, but like it's not. That's not the main goal either, because you're not really performing with like a theme in mind. It's just you're doing physical things that are visually pleasing. But then again, a lot of dance can be like that too, I suppose. I feel like extreme sports, those kinds of like performative extreme sports where like you do tricks, are still in a infant stage where there's not been enough development to really, how can I put this? Turn it into something with a bit more of a goal in mind, if that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, Leslie Cha, come on now. Oh my goodness. Ashes, stop bullying the poor kid. His feelings are hurt. Pablo, you mentioned that you were looking for X channel edits, but have you ever seen a Street Skate video part? What? What is Oscar saying? I don't know this. I don't understand this Russian slang. Shlyapa, what does that mean? The street skating. Haven't you heard about it? I mean, I'm familiar with the concept of skating in the street. I don't know if you're talking about like a specific video series or. Oscar, for the future, if somebody doesn't understand what you mean, repeating it doesn't usually help. just as a pro tip for the future, if you say something and the other person doesn't understand what you said and like asking to clarify, just repeating it over and over again doesn't actually help explain it. So just, pro tip for the future. Yeah. Because that wasn't the issue. Even at work, when I'd teach someone to orienteer in the factory by using the coordinates in place, they would sometimes look at me for approval for where they think they need to go. Meanwhile, I'm like, I don't know if that's right. Let's go see what's there and reevaluate from there. Just dare to fail and go from there. That's the ideal attitude. Yeah, that's like the best way to be. Yeah. All right, Oscar, I'm just not going to engage if you're not going to... Oscar, I genuinely don't understand what you mean. Like, I know the word shlyapa, but it's slang, but I don't know what the slang means. Is a whole culture? Wait, what? Oh, about the street thing, okay.
This is a red alert.
But yeah, Hazunia, the attitude that you're talking about. That's a good attitude.
Immediately. Find shelter. There is not time to leave the city. Your state civil defense director has just issued the following instructions. Please remain calm.
Yeah. Priest. Knife. Her fingers form double horns.
Okay, so it's just a compilation of tricks on the street, literally. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I've seen a few of these. Yeah. Okay, bye. All right. Yeah, I've seen a few of these. It's not my bag, but if you're into it, you're into it. It's cool. It just seems kind of boring to me, honestly. I don't know. I remember like when I was like a teenager and I was still into extreme sports and stuff, I used to watch a lot of Rodney Mullen videos. Because like of all of the kinds of tricks that there were, those kinds of like manuals, yeah, they're called manuals, yeah? Manuals were my favorite. Because again, it looked the most like dancing to me. So I guess I gravitated towards those the most. But yeah, grinding and manualing was like the freestyle skateboard. Yeah. Exactly. Different strokes for different folks. People like different things. Yeah. I just know that X Gamers is more about crazy huge ass ramps and stuff, like half pipe skating. Yeah. To each their own, to each their own. And that's okay. I'm glad it exists. It's not for me, but I'm glad that it exists. But Mullen is a very cool guy. You had a good taste back in the day. Well, yeah. I played a lot of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games. I played like a whole bunch of them, actually. I think I played like, wait. Yeah. The full list. So I have played. I'm pretty sure I played 3. Think I played 4 as well. I definitely played Underground. Or no, I think I played Underground. Yeah, I played American Wasteland. No, I never got around to Project 8. I don't think. Proving Ground. I think I played like one more of these, but I forget which one. Maybe 5. One of these. Shred Session. No, by this point, no, it wasn't Ride. Well, one of these, yeah. Have you played the Skate series? No, I've never played the Skate series. No, I've only ever played Tony Hawk stuff. I know that's like, yeah, it's very basic, but yeah, like I said, I wasn't super into skateboarding, but yeah. Well, I like watching curling. That's pretty wild, eh? No, I used to like, whenever somebody would ask me what my favorite sport was, as a joke, I would say curling, just because I think it's funny to watch two people go like that. But there's a certain kind of tense. There's a tension to curling. I gotta say, it's good one joke. It's just it's just it's. There is something quite interesting about this sport. I gotta say. Yeah. I think like one of my favorite things about sports is that. Do you have a hobby, curling? Yeah. One of my favorite things about sports is how, especially on the professional level, in an effort to achieve one very specific physical result, sports have kind of like morphed themselves, and the athletes do these weird motions. Like imagine in any other scenario being in this position, like this weird ass slide, where you just like let a rock go on the ice. Like imagine this, like just to hit a target and make a rock land in a very specific circle on the ice several meters away. I wonder who got more bitches, the nerds or the curling guys? Ooh, I don't know, man. Apparently, from what I've heard, the Olympics, like on the every time they do the Olympics, they have like for the recreational part, they have what's called the Olympic Village, where all the athletes spend their time. So they're like close to premises. And apparently, from what I've heard, the Olympic Village is just orgy town, orgy central. It's like a nonstop fuckfest over there. Apparently, Olympic athletes, I don't know what's up with them, but they just love to fucking bang while they're in there. So yeah. Apparently they all just no fucking shot. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Maybe some athletes more than others, but I mean it makes sense. They are all hot people, Yeah, there's a lot of sex going on there. Apparently, I mean, can you blame them? I mean, some of these fucking, especially like the sprinters and shit, like fuck. Like, have you seen these men? Have you seen these men? Like, have you seen these women? Like, yeah, okay, they're a little lean, but damn, they fucking. Who wouldn't want a piece of that? The gymnasts? Are you kidding me? Yeah. It's a well-known fact. Do I miss something? Hot people running hot with adrenaline and other hormones. Possibly that as well. Yeah, maybe they're just like hot on adrenaline. Yeah. But they barely know each other. That's half the fun. Also, not really. Especially on the Olympic level, most of these guys are like kind of pretty well-known celebrities, Like, okay, they don't know them as people per se, but they can know enough about each other that's like, okay, I know what you're about generally, Or I don't know. They do interviews, like it's yeah. They're not complete strangers. It's, yeah. But yeah, so I wanted to say like about the Olympics. I especially love the Summer Olympics because Summer Olympics include a bunch of sports that in my mind are really, really weird. Like the high jump. In an effort to make any kind of human be able to jump as high as they possibly can over a barrier. Over the years, it's been noted that like, if you look at the body types of the athletes who do high jump, they are all, to a man, these tall, lanky stick figures. Because that is the optimal body type to achieve the greatest height for the kind of move that they do. This like over the bar, you know, the backwards type of thing. And I find that incredibly fascinating. I find it so fascinating that, like, over the years, as we have encouraged people to learn new and better ways to jump over a bar in a specific way, we have sort of essentially like selectively bred this subset of humans who are these like tall, lanky stick figures who are only good at one thing, and that's jumping over a bar like this. And then you look at like people who do shot put, and it's like the exact opposite. Shot putters have to have a very strong center of mass to be able to spin steadily enough to be able to toss that rope, but the ball, the rock, but also to have arms strong enough, like, and so again, for these kinds of physical challenges where only one specific motion is required, you tend to have this like, interesting convergence of body types where literally every single shot putter looks like this. Every single high jumper looks like a stick figure. Every single sprinter has the massive, like, it makes sense, but I think it's fascinating to see how much physical divergence there can be in one species, human, if you like over a period of like centuries now, make them try to focus on achieving one specific goal, one specific task, to the best of their ability. I think that's kind of interesting, you know? I don't think you'd want to fuck your competition. I bet they're mostly fuck athletes from other sports. Maybe. That makes sense. Most sports is closely related to either hunting or warfare, but modern high jumping is completely useless unless you have spies setting mattresses for you to land on. Otherwise, you're just gonna break your neck. No, I mean, I can imagine a scenario where, like, you're up in I mean, it's not likely, but, you know, like, let's say, you know, you're like this, and like that, and up in a building, and you're trying to get into this building, but this window is locked, and the doors are locked, and you're over here. Well, I'm not getting into this window. Maybe I can, like, vault myself this way. Like, it's like, right? And then you just, like, slide in. Or better yet. Get a pole. Pole vault. Just fucking... A well-known hunting tradition to launch a stone with your foot in a bird's face. Climbing wasn't a thing in medieval times, I see. Yeah, I herding a prey into killing ground. Also, teamwork is a staple for warfare. Yeah. Obviously, like, the modern Olympics are not meant to all be indicative. Not all the sports are meant to be indicative of, like, super useful physical activities. And I don't think that's really the point, even, to be honest. So yeah, the football works for I understand the impetus to try to equate every single sport to a useful physical action. I don't think that's the case anymore. It might have been the case in the original Olympics, because that kind of makes sense. It makes sense to create a physical competition to encourage people to be good at physical feats that would then translate into warfare. That makes sense. But our human civilization has just moved on from that so far that it's not translatable anymore. But I think they're still useful things. I used to really look down on sports, but now I realize that that was wrong to do. Sports are a necessary part of society. I'm not equating them. I was just noting that a lot of sports stem from such things. Oh, okay. Fair enough. But yeah. It's hard to imagine a real-life scenario where this particular type of jumping would be necessary. Oh boy, Soyboy's Cameron's curling is fucking worth it. Now, yeah, Ash, I know you're being a troll, but like, the actual truth is, you don't know what you don't know. And you don't know what you might find out if you go looking. So, it is true that, like, a lot of these physical activities in and of themselves might not be very useful to learn. Like, what is the point of learning how to, perfectly slide a stone over a piece of ice or whatever? But if in the process of trying to get people to be better at throwing stones over ice, we develop better shoe technology or brush technology or stone making technology or any kind of technology like in that vein, that's then translatable into other spheres of life. Much in the same way that sports sciences have improved the quality of shoes for everybody. Because in the effort of trying to make people run faster by creating higher quality shoes, people have developed all kinds of cool polymers and molecules and all manner of cool like techniques to make shoes, make people run faster, that then get, put into commercial use, and everybody benefits eventually, right? So, yeah. Curling involves strategy, teamwork, communication, all useful. Also that. Geometry, teamwork. There's a bunch of skills that are also being trained as well. Yeah, of course I do troll a little. Pay much respect to all the athletes, even to such hilarious ones. Yeah. Because again, you don't know what you might find out in the process of like trying to get somebody to toss a stone across ice or I don't know. You don't know what might end up from a bunch of people skiing for a while and then shooting targets for a while, or what was another ridiculous sport? Dressage, you never know what might become useful out of the necessity to get horses to clop around, From a certain point of view, my sport of choice is also super dumb, just how stupid a grown-ass man kicking a piece of wood and 4 wheels looks like. Yeah, it is pretty dumb as well, yeah. But again, in the effort to try to get people, like in the pursuing of new and cooler ways to flip that board over and over again, people might discover new technologies, new techniques, new cultural elements. There's all kinds of things that you could learn by pushing people to the limit of what they can and can't do. Just like even just the physical boundaries themselves, Like you don't know what people can do, what people like physically what they're capable of unless you push them to do it. That's the realm of acrobatics, You dig too far, man. No, it's great. I love it. It's cool to think about. It's fun to imagine. I'm sure there are some great examples I can come up with. I mean, I know the one about like NASA. I know about space. I'm not sure about sports, but. And here for a moment, I thought I saw character growth at Ashes. Nah, it's okay. He's a young man. He's embarrassed at the idea of sincerity. Don't worry about it. He'll grow out of it. It's fine. We've all been there. You don't know me, man. You don't know me. Nobody understands. Yeah. Anyway. Fun chat with you guys. There's something I wanted to talk about, but I forgot what it was. Oh, speaking of dumb sports, here's a. Oh yeah. Oh. Check what I saw recently.
If you miss a line in the game, you reset. You miss it on the track, you could die.
I saw this like 2 days ago.
Who do you think the best driver is?
Probably Rory.
I would dust him in a lap.
Jan, all you do is play video games with some crazy dreams of racing cars.
Dad, you're the one that told us always do something we love.
You know what racing cars cost?
Dude, yeah, I know, right?
World, son.
Anyway, the point is there's a kid who's really good at racing video games who gets a chance to become a real racer. And apparently it's based on a true story. There's apparently a guy named the same guy, Jan Mandeborough, is that right? Jan Mardenborough. Jan Mardenborough, yeah. Apparently this guy actually was, is based on his true story. Oh yeah, actually it's a thing. Yep. True story. I obviously exaggerated for dramatic effect, but yeah. I actually didn't hate this movie. It's a weird movie for a number of reasons. There's a couple of weird things about it, but it's kind of interesting. There's some pro iRacers who went to IRL pros. Yeah, it makes sense. It's cool. But yeah, racing is a really weird sport as well. Like, I get why it exists, but it's a weird-ass sport if you think about it. Also, yeah, Orlando Bloom is really weird in this movie. Like, entertainingly weird, but his character is really odd. It's kind kind of weird, but good movie. I recommend it. If you want to, I mean, it's not like something amazing or whatever, but it's pretty cool. All right, Ash has asked me, Christ, I'm turning 20 in March. How was your 20s, Pavel? How did you meet them, if you remember? Well, wait, hold on. So he said, Gran Turismo ran a competition to find a real-life racer. A qualifier competition was that they didn't race for real life ever before. They wanted to find someone. Yeah. Well, how did I meet my 20s? So, I went to university when I was 19. And that was a big turning point for me. I was going to get into this before, but like when I turned 19, that began what I now canonically call chapter 3 of my life. Currently, there are 6 chapters in my life, and we're in we're in chapter 6 right now. Chapter 3. So if I just here. I'm 33 right now. This is 0. So we got 8. And then I guess to about 18, I would say. Yeah. That's chapter 2. Then there was a brief chapter up until the age of, well, how did I cut it off? It was 23, I think. Yeah, then 23. And then that's my dance career. Wait. No, sorry, 22. Sorry, 22. 22. Then chapter 4 was my dance career up until 26. Yeah. Then my casino career. And now we're in chapter 6. So that ended at the ripe old age of 30, basically. Yeah. Now we're in the dark period. That's some really poor proportions. They're not supposed to be like chronologically consistent. It's more like based on like how I was. Wait, what the fuck? Wait. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, everything's fine. It's more like based on my mental state. And chapter 2 was the chapter of self-loathing and the chapter of delusion. It was self-deprecation as a fantasy. I'm a little surprised you draw 2 with that old squiggly. I always have to draw around when I'm older. Does it mean chapter 6 is ongoing? Yep, chapter 6 is unfortunately ongoing. It's a very dark period in my life. It's not good. It's not good. Yeah. I don't get this. This is a weird meme that's happening in YouTube chat. I don't get this. I wish I could respond, but I have no idea what this Russian meme is. Yeah, the fucking no sex chapter. Yeah, pretty much. I gave it a whole. Well, I mean, I wasn't having sex in these 2 either, so it's not like that's not really unique. Chapter 1 and 2 was also entirely sexless. I lost my virginity at the age of 19. So. Yeah, so this period of my life was mostly mired by my self-deprecation and my like endless need for martyrdom. That would be the best way to describe it. Like I desperately needed to feel like I was this like super special, ultra amazing guy that nobody gave a chance. Like, why doesn't everyone just like me? And always being resentful of the popular kids, that kind of shit. Like the really like incel nice guy bullshit. And so chapter 3 was a transformative period. It was rough, but it was incredibly beneficial. Because while the school that I went to here did give me the critical thinking skills necessary to be able to examine my life, it was the real life experience that I got in England that really opened my eyes up to just how stupid my perspective was before, how small my problems are. Because up until this point, up until like the end of chapter 2, all of my friends were also upper middle class. I only had like upper middle class problems basically. I was incredibly sheltered, had no issues. Chapter 3, when I went to England, was the first time that I ever faced real poverty. People living off of fucking food stamps. People not being able to pay the fucking bills. People having to work 2 goddamn jobs and then studying on top of that just to make ends meet, Like, people getting in trouble with the cops because of, like, discrimination or whatever. That was the time when I first encountered that shit. And it really, really put into sharp focus how small my problems were by comparison. And it was also a time when I learned a lot about myself as a person, what I'm capable of, what I'm not. I discovered a lot of things about myself and about other cultures of the world, and yeah. I thought the UK in the 2010s were all right. Well, I mean, generally maybe, but I lived in a town that was very, very poor. Bedford was a dying town right up until they built a university campus on it, and then it became a uni town. But it was still, not well off. In your opinion, what caused delusions in teens' minds? Oh, I lots of stuff, but lack of experience, hormones, and the main two, really. Yeah, lack of experience and hormones were the main ones. Everybody goes through that. Everybody goes through a period of it. It's a very rare thing and kind of disturbing thing. If you
Anyway, how is your sex life?
Hey AJ, nice to see you, buddy. Non-existent. Every kid goes through that. Hormones, yeah, good point. First of all, hormones, yeah, but also as well, the teenage time period is the point when during brain formation when I think that's the first real moment of self-awareness and of the understanding of identity as a social construct. And very often teens get this mistaken impression. I talked about this a couple times before, that like teens and young people in general have this unfortunate misconception that because they're discovering something for the first time and they feel very strongly about it, that they're the first people in the world to have discovered it. And that's why a lot of teens are insufferable online, because what they think they're saying is like super profound, like, oh my god, I've just cracked the fucking, key to the universe, when actually they're saying the same thing that everyone's been saying. Like we've all been there, right? And then they grow out of it eventually. And I think that's also like partially hormones. It's just like a lack of awareness, a lack of like, both in terms of like life experience and also just basic research on what already has been said by other people. And the strong desire to individuate, the strong desire to stand out individually and to make a mark on the world, to distinguish oneself. Individuality is a huge component of self-discovery as a teen. And that's why most teens go through their like rebellious phase, where they like, adopt all kinds of weird fashions and, join groups and stuff, because they're trying to figure out who they are. And especially like that's the period of time when people really desire distinguishing themselves from their first like social group, which is their family. Before that, a kid is fine being a part of the family because they're okay with it. But then as teenagers tend to get this desire to like not be like their family, and therefore to figure out who they are instead. And so they end up being monstrously cringe. But again, we've all been there, we've all done that. We go through this phase and then we move on. Yeah. Also bad perceptions, like looking at music videos, porn, and other media and thinking that it's reality they need to measure up to, causing bitterness. Also true, yeah. I suppose it can also be chalked down to a lack of experience or lack of touching grass. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I've said this a couple of times before. One of the things that I really love about getting older is that it gives me a sense of perspective on what really matters and what doesn't, And it kind of makes sense. I don't blame young people for thinking that their small little problems are big, because as far as they're aware, they are, I, for example, don't actually remember when my first kiss was. I straight up don't remember at all. Like I have a vague idea. I think I know who my first kiss was, but yeah. Like I've kissed so many people by this point that like it doesn't matter. But like at the time, it was huge, right? At the time, it was like, oh my god, it was the thing that mattered most in my world. It was the thing that like I thought was going to be the defining, point of my life, was when am I finally going to kiss a girl? Now it's just like, I mean, it'd be nice, but yeah. It was your mom at the age of 2. No, I meant like romantically on the lips, you fucking idiot. Yeah. Or same thing as kids especially, they are so excited by everything in the world because to them it's all new, Like when a kid walks for the first time, that's fucking huge for them. That's crazy. Their first steps are incredible. We don't count the steps that we walk today. Like nobody remembers every step they took now because they're used to it by now. You know, their brain literally filters this out because it's not significant anymore. It's not a significant event. For a toddler, when they lose their favorite toy, it's a massive problem. For an adult, barely an inconvenience, but things done. Right. It's not just because priorities change, but also because the number of events that happen and like the number of things you lose make it easier. Like the first thing you lose, that's devastating because you've never lost anything before. The 100th thing you lose, well, you've lost 100 things already. Who gives a shit, right? Like even if it's a thing that's even more precious to you than the original, first thing was, the 100th thing. Even if it's like, your house or whatever. Yeah, that's bad, but you have already lost stuff, so you know how to cope with loss. Like it doesn't break, it doesn't shake your, it doesn't shatter your world completely, right? Yeah. I was sharing my story, Pavel. Nice. Oh, you kissed my mom when you were 2. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Oh, okay. Yeah. I get you. Weird. Things don't scale like that? No, I mean, they kind of do, Hazunia. At least in my experience, they kind of do. Yeah. Not like one-to-one. Obviously, it's not like literally everything is scaled like that. But I find that with the benefit of time, everything is easier to deal with. Just by virtue of me having experienced more things. And it's like, partially just not being as surprised, and also like having more experience to fall back on. Like, this new thing that I'm experiencing is at least in part like so many other things that I've already experienced, and therefore I'm not as surprised by it as I would have been had it happened earlier. Like, people just get better at living to a certain extent, in the sense that they know what to expect a whole bit more. But then there's also the double-edged sword of that, which is that generally as people get older, they get less and less comfortable with things changing. And so things that they pass a certain age, things that are new, seem completely abhorrent to them because they're unwilling to adapt to incorporate them into the new space. That's a conscious effort people have to make. If you're not careful, you will run into this if you're not careful, you will run into the habit of thinking that, like, after you're 30, any new thing that comes after that is just bad because you didn't grow up with it, and your stuff was cool, and like all this newfangled stuff that the kids are doing is not. No, it's just new. It's just different, I suppose it's possible for an adult to completely break down if they lose a singular item, but it has to be quite an extraordinary item. Typically, the world adults live in is a lot larger than toddlers who live in a regular singular house with only a couple of months. Yeah. Obviously. I wonder what makes us to amplify our perception on surrounding us reality and problems. Is it our life experience, or do we have something less obvious? Wait, what makes us to amplify our perception on surrounding? What? Sorry, do you mean like projection, or what do you mean? What do you mean by amplify our perception on Wait, what? Sorry, I don't know what you mean by that. Amplify our perception on surrounding us. What makes us to look bigger on our lives? Oh, well, that one's obvious. It's self-preservation. Yeah. What makes us to worry less, per se? Well, if you're asking me like why people focus on themselves other than other people, well, that's just a offshoot of our genetic ancestry. Every human, like every animal, has an ingrained instinct to stay alive and to preserve oneself. And humans, unfortunately, don't have the brain capacity to distinguish between abstract and literal thoughts. So ego is considered by the human brain as part of the physical self, and therefore people want to protect their ego the same way that they want to protect their body. It's like the human brain cannot distinguish between attacks on a person's character and attacks on a person's physical self. So yeah, it makes sense that like they want to protect their. What makes us bigger persons? Oh, you mean like what gives us experience? Oh, the brain does. Yeah, that's the function of thinking. That's why people respond to insults in a similar way as if they were punched. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But to answer your question, Ashes, is it all false life experience? Oh well, no. I mean, experience alone won't necessarily tell you the right stuff. You also have to have the right mental skills as well. So in your opinion, they're extras? Well, I think it's a combination of two things for the most part. Or three, I guess you could say. Partially it's genetics, because what's the machinery you have going on in there, right? If you have all the right mental cortices, that's number one. And also, to a certain extent, is also diet and exercise and the rest of your body as well. What is your nervous system like? So yeah, genetics, experience, and mental skills, or education. I guess you put it that way. The big three. That's the three pillars of how smart you are as a person and how adaptable, I guess you could say. Yeah. So there are lots of people out there who have lived a long time and take care of their bodies a lot, but don't have the mental skills necessary to contextualize their experiences in a way that is beneficial to them. So a good example of that would be the high-power business guy who, takes care of his body, like a Patrick Bateman type, from American Psycho. I mean, that guy was actually psycho, but imagine that, but not a psycho. There's lots of people like that, these very ambitious young men who think that making lots of money and living in a big mansion with hot bitches is going to make them happy, and they're slaving away, working crazy hours and hustling and grinding just to make all that money. They have the skills, they take care of their bodies, and they have a life experience that makes them good at that particular skill, but they weren't educated enough to understand that their goal is kind of meaningless. They don't have the mental skills necessary to take stock of that situation. And the smarter of those people will hire a therapist, and that therapist will hopefully help them to understand that eventually, so they get the mental skills to be able to, see outside themselves. But most of them don't, because they don't think they have to. And then they die of a heart attack at the age of 50, alone and unloved, I mean, all of us get, yeah. SSS says, why your streams are boring and at the same time chill? Well, because I'm not doing anything, SSS. We're just chatting over here. Also, there's no music playing. Yeah, I gotta start doing more proper content. I need to figure something out. You're right, SSS. I've just been kind of busy with my own stuff, but fair enough. Well, next week is apparently the next episode of Name That List, which I haven't started preparing for yet, but I have some ideas. I might have to postpone that one because I'm working all of those days, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, first, second, and third. I'm working all those days, and it's the evening shift, so that's not a good time. Yeah, we might have to move it to the week after or something. Yeah. I'll have to think about that. But anyway. Have you ever been a Patrick Bateman type in a certain part of your life? No, I don't think so. No. I've never been that, pathologically and psychotically devoted to anything. Is that true? What? Wait a minute. I mean, sometimes I've played video games to that extent, I feel. No, I don't think so. No. If you want to see character growth, I can't recommend American History X enough. Yeah. It's a good movie, for sure. Yeah. Pure Woodman Casting X? What the fuck? Yeah. It's hilarious how many fascists, how many film bros completely missed the point of American History X. Yeah. I didn't, but I know the story. May check it out eventually. Ryan Gosling gives me shivers after all the Sigma memes. Yeah. But yeah, so this is my life right now. And what's really funny is that, for the most part, I've been on an upward spiral. I've been an upward spiral. It's been an upward trajectory in terms of, my satisfaction with my own life. So up here, then we had one of this, then we had a dip, then we came back. But now we're in a dark period right now. things are not going well for me right now. We're in the dark period, which in my mind actually kind of makes sense because it's chapter 6, which that would make sense for it to be. But what's the y-axis? General life satisfaction, general life happiness. Up until chapter 6, I was very proud of the fact that generally my life has been getting better and better and better. But yeah, unfortunately, chapter 6, bit of a steady dip so far, so I'm hoping to turn it around soon. How poor are you, Pavel? Yeah. Well, I mean, no pussy is definitely part of it, sure, but it's not the main thing. SSS says, I'm surprised how you don't lose heart after all the attacks and come to stream for the sake of several people sometimes and for the sake of one person, no matter how lowly it looks. It's very cute. Aww. I appreciate that, SSS. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. It would be nice to have more viewers, but I actually really like my community. I like the couple of folks to hang out here, honestly. They're a fun bunch. It's fun. I wish you guys would play some of the video games that I play, but you know, whatever, it's fine. Whatever. We'll get around to it. Yeah. I enjoyed the process as well. I really like streaming. I like the environment here. I think I've created a cool format. I think I've like done a pretty good job of like making it, you know, adaptable and fun and stuff. Wait, hold on. Yeah. But I should do more. I should definitely push out more video content for sure. I'm still trying to get through the backlog of Name That List episodes. I'm a little bit behind right now, so that's one thing I gotta do. Maybe I'll work on one tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah. But thanks. What I found to be true is that if you can't be happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy with someone else. Yeah. It's true. It's very true. Super true. And I've done that before as well. Good point from Zunia. Yeah. In a couple of my relationships, I have definitely subconsciously put the responsibility of making me happy entirely on their shoulders, and that did not go well, to say the least. Did not go well. Yeah. I think I'm better at it now. When she was just following but not leading your happiness? Ask yourself. Wait, maybe you missed the good times and you, just by a fair chance, misput it on the woman? No. It was more like, it was more like I had low self-esteem, and I would like fantasize about the kind of relationship I would need and the kind of partner I would need to make me happy, like by herself, basically. And then when she would inevitably fail to meet those unrealistic expectations, I would hold resentment against her, but not communicate that, you know? And then there'd be like this weird tension where I'd be mad at her for not doing something I never explained that I wanted her to do, and that was also unreasonable because she's a human being and she's got her own shit going on, and this is like, yeah, being passive aggressive, yeah. See, do you remember the talk about outcome of experience? I mean it. What? How is that relevant here? I'm sorry. I don't get how that's relevant here. When you look for an outcome, you are doomed for failure. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, for sure. Plastic Cell says Dota 2 stream, please. I don't know, man. I've dabbled in the idea. I've like entertained the idea of like one day just like, because I have it on Steam. That's the thing. I actually like someone gave it to me as a gift on Steam, and like, I don't know, because like if it was like Fortnite, I think it's the kind of game that I could just like jump into it and like figure it out on my own. But Dota's one of those games that you have to do fucking homework just to like have fun I don't know, man. I can't just like install it and play it and see what happens, because then I'll just die a bunch, and that's not fun for anyone. I have to do research. I have to fucking do build orders and blah 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 blah. All for what? Just for like 2 guys to ruffle on chat? Like, fuck off. Not worth it. Not worth it. Yeah, grown man games is stupid. Stupid. El stupido. It doesn't make no sense. I don't know. I'll think about it. I don't know. It's on the... I would enjoy playing Dota with you, just in case you wonder, Pablo, so you have a teammate. I mean, I guess it would be definitely more fun to do it with a friend. Yeah. And like have them co-stream. That could be a thing. Ashes, how do you feel about being on stream, like a voice chat? Maybe that could be a thing. I don't know. Like I'm not against it as an idea, like as a goof, but I don't know, man. It doesn't. It sounds fun in theory, but then I feel like once we get into it, it's just gonna be boring. I don't know. I get that impression. There's nothing as childish as considering something not being adult enough for you. True. Big true, Hazunia. Oh my god. Just for that. Big true. Wait. Oh shit, hold on. Boom. Hazunia, you've become a VIP. I can't believe we haven't done it sooner. Enjoy your VIP badge. Big true. I'm alright. 0 social anxiety. Have some on-air experience. Cool. I'll think about it. I'll think about doing the Dota thing. Because we have like talked about it before. We have discussed it, and I was like, I'll see. Maybe. Big maybe. That's how I learned about Dota, from the Dota song. Remember the Dota song? Remember that from Bass Hunter? What is official video bullshit? This is the original one where they're sitting in the basement. Let's get it on. That's how I learned about Dota. That was the first time I ever like. This song was like circulating on the message boards and stuff, and I was like, "What the fuck is Dota?" And then I looked it up, and that's how I learned about Dota. Yeah. Because I never played Warcraft. I never played the Warcraft game, so I was never. And you know, it's funny to say, I actually didn't know that Defense of the Ancients was originally a mod for Warcraft 3 until like many years later. It was like a whole other, yeah. I was completely out of the loop. But now I know. And it's so funny how Activision Blizzard fucking threw a hissy fit when they made the Warcraft 3 remake, where they put in the agreement in the EULA that like if anyone makes any more mods for Warcraft 3, they own the fucking rights to it. They're so salty about not being able to secure the rights for Dota. They're so salty. There's a good hero in Dota 2 that fits your personality, in my opinion. Does that character happen to have claws? Yeah? You think you're clever? You think you're funny? Go on. What's the character? Let me have a look. Does he only walk sideways? Yeah? All three, Dota 2, LoL, and Heroes of the Storm, has a legitimate claim to be the successor of the original Dota, much like HRE, France, Italy, and Russia all claim to be the continuation of the original Roman Empire. Yeah. That's a good analogy, actually. That's I like that a lot. if I play Dota 2, I'm maining Teemo. It's probably not even funny anymore, but like, fuck, man. It just makes me laugh. Teemo. Russia has nothing to do with the Roman Empire? No, it kind of does. It kind of does. Because the Byzantine Empire influenced the Russian Empire a lot, and the Byzantine Empire directly comes from the Roman. It's like a... I don't think anybody states it. Well, not like... It's not direct. It's not like one-to-one. They're not saying they're like directly descended from, but it's more like one influenced the other, and then influenced the other, and yeah. This one as well. What, Teemo? Yeah. Teemo. Yay, Teemo. Yeah. I don't know what I'd play if I was Dota. Is there any character like Sergeant Hammer in Dota? In Heroes of the Storm, there was this character, Sergeant Hammer. She was a siege tank, basically. If there's anything like that in Dota, then that would be probably one of mine. Don't get the thing about the claws? Kind of local meme? Oh, sorry, Plastic Soul. I just kind of assumed that you were a Poppage viewer. It's a thing. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I apologize. I have the meme equivalent of a venereal disease on my channel, unfortunately. That has been hard to wash out. I have contracted an STD, a stream-transmitted disease. What's this?
Hoe ruim jij je vaatwasser in? Ben jij de...
Wait, oh, I think there's an ad as well. Or is it? No.
Hoe ruim jij je
No, what is this?
vaatwasser in? Ben jij de herinruimer of de kan nog net toevoeger? Hoe je hem ook inruimt, gebruik de nieuwe Sun Brilliant Shine capsules met Active Oxygen Plus voor een stralende schoonheid en een perfecte glans. Sun, getest op het
Sorry, which character? Which character fits me? This guy? Wait. Or this guy? Probably this guy, right? Enjoy your ad? Wait, is this still the ad? Wait, what?
Seek the heat. Incoming.
Oh, did I click on the ad accidentally? Oh, well, I clicked on... Sorry, my apologies. My apologies.
Heads up. I wonder what this does. Ooh, they never miss. You can keep your magic. I have laser beam.
Tinker. All right. Oh, you're saying Tinker is like the tank character? Yeah, he's like a siege tank type of dude. Nah, just according to Persona? Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, let's have a look. Which one of them is this Tinker? I'm guessing this is Tinker because he's like the mechanical dude. So he's got a mech suit. Alright, so what are the categories again? It's jungler... fuck. What were the 5 categories again? I forget. It's like ADC carry, top, mid, bot, jungler? Nah, it's from LoL. Wait, it's not the same from Dota? Dota is various? Oh, shit. I thought it was the same. Oh, okay. You know, Pablo, I think you love playing as Gall? The HOTS character. I remember... Oh, just Gall? Not Cho'Gall? Just Gall? I tried playing him. It was okay. It wasn't really my jam. I was a Sergeant Hammer main. Gall of Cho'Gall. But just Gall, not Cho'Gall, yeah? There's no actual tanks in Dota. Some heroes are tankier than others, but it's more complicated. If you like explosions, so technically it's your choice. Maybe. Well, I mean, it's not so much about aesthetics. I understand there's like hundreds and hundreds of heroes, or champions or whatever, but I'm not actually sure what kind of playstyle I would like to do. Maybe I'd be support? Ogre Magi. Cho controls the body, Gall is the spell disher head. Ah, okay. Oh yeah, fucking tanks. Did we go on a raid boss at a WoW or something? Yeah.
It feels good to get that off my chest.
Like, I'd be okay doing a support role. I wouldn't mind. I definitely don't want to be DPS for sure. That's way too much pressure. I can't do that shit. I want to do like a gimmick. I want to have like a really dumb gimmick. Whenever there's like hundreds of characters to choose from, I always try to gravitate towards like the most gimmicky character. Is there like a filthy engineer who builds turrets and like, yeah. Oh, is there like a turret builder of some kind? Is there like a guy who just like builds turrets all day? A filthy engineer? Ogre Magi? Hey, NG Monk, nice to see you. Ogre Magi, okay. Nah, not really? Oh, Ogre Magi is just Cho'Gall, but Dota. Gotcha. Gotcha, yeah. They have some turrets, but they don't really rely on those? Okay. What's like the gimmick? What's like the most gimmicky? Like the most trolly, like the weird shit, you know? Like what's a playstyle that 9 times out of 10 it fails, but like that one time it works though? That's what I want to do. Timbersaw? Timbersaw. Clockwork. Now that sounds more like my speed. Timbersaw. Hey. Alright, now we're... I'm sensing a theme. Techies the Troll? Wait, the character's name is Techies? Don't listen to them, Timbersaw is bread and butter? Listen to me, the licensed Dota 2 expert. No, fair enough. Techies. Mines instead of turrets by Techies. Okay. I'm not a big fan of mines in theory, but in this game, I guess they're more useful because people do move around a lot. So, yeah, I can see myself being into mines. Techies. So he mostly lanes mines, yeah? Shit, which one actually is Techies? I'm confused. Which one? This one, yeah? This is Techies? Okay. Basically. Alright.
Come here, you little shit. Why? Ah, Celtic, you fucking cunt.
Oh, what? Was it? Oh, sorry.
No, wait. This is No, that's Techies. Wait. Which one? No, this is...
I was tunnel visioning, man.
They're all goblins. Well, I got that. Yeah. That's the Techies. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was your tongue hanging out of your face as well?
Kind of.
Oh, wait. These are the Techies. Ah, these are the Techies. Okay, gotcha. So they're literally just like lobbing mines. Okay.
Oh
Was
god.
that ours? Was that our... Okay.
Why don't you use your solar?
Whoa, okay. Why are you diving in? Weird. So yeah, doing stuff at range, gimmicky stuff. Yeah, this is my jam.
Close enough, I'm sorry.
Oh shit.
Now he is.
Nice. Yeah, this could be for me. That could be for me. And she's asking like, what role would you like to do? Would be a carry or a tank or a mage? I don't know. I don't actually. I'll be honest with you. I don't really know all of the specific roles and what they're supposed to do. Like I never like what does carry? You know what? I'm not gonna ask you guys because you're gonna have to give me a bunch of conflicting stuff. I'm just gonna read. Hold on. Hold on. Roll, that's the word. Rolls, that's what it's called. So according to, I guess the Dota 2 wiki, these are all of the different roles you can play. Don't listen to them, they overcomplicate things. I don't know why people just receive so much joy from gatekeeping, it's insane. Well, again, it's special knowledge. They like to feel like they're experts in something, and making things complicated for other people makes it easier for them to feel like they're smarter than you at it. Yeah. Take the Poppage guide without the stream. He says a lot of cool stuff. I don't want to listen to it in Russian. That's okay. I'll do my own research. It's fine. So support. So what does a carry actually do? Excels in late game team fights. Oh, okay. So the carry's job is to gain XP to get like the big abilities that in the late game win the game. Gotcha. Okay. Ganker hides in the bushes and stabs people. Yeah. Roamer, I guess it's like a jungler basically. Yeah. High mobility hero can establish map dominance by harassing enemy heroes. Okay. Support. I get that one. So what's the difference between carry and hard carry? Attains gold at levels they will progressively. Okay, so it's like even more devoted just to leveling, just for the late game. Okay. What is off lane? That's one of the most important roles in game Dota 2 because the hero of this role has a purpose: harass enemy players. So basically like jungler. Okay. Okay, that kind of makes sense actually. And pusher excels at tearing through creep waves and waves. Yeah. Okay, that one makes sense. Okay. I think, honestly, I would be most comfortable being a pusher. I actually really like the idea of just staying in one lane and like being in control of that one lane. I think I'd be okay with that. So like, I guess mid lane? I think I prefer to be top or bot at first just because it's less pressure, as I understand it. Yeah. Top lead Pudge says, oh, have the Russians been released from their cage? I release you from your mortal coil. Yes. In Dota, there's 5 roles. Hard support, soft support, have off lane, like a jungle, or a tank, yeah. Carry, and mid. Wait. Okay. Here we fucking go. Yeah. I think it's gonna be tough for him to play Dota. I think so too. Yeah, for sure. Zagara and Gazla would work for that too. Yeah. I used to main Zagara when I was playing HOTS. That was one of my mains. Yeah, I really enjoyed playing Zagara. Just lane pusher all day. That's my shit. Yeah. Powell, don't listen to them. They'll ruin the fun. The main thing is to have fun. I hope so. That's the plan. So yeah, I guess I can like look at what kind of heroes are good at lane pushing, and I guess I can just like pick one of those. Yeah. Get your millions donators via Polygus and Popish game. No. League Pudge. I would never want to play competitively. That's not like he would wipe the floor with me because I wouldn't give a shit. I would not be trying that hard. It's not like if you want to watch me lose a bunch of times, then sure. But like no. Some people are better pushers. Some people are more mobile. Yeah. I have 3,700 hours of playtime on record. That's impressive. Damn. 3,700 hours. That's 154 days. That's... Wait. Oh, no. Why did I divide by 12? I don't know. Wait, hold on. How do I cancel? Shit. I meant to say divide by... well, no, divide by 12. Yeah, wait. What? Oh, 30. Divide by 30. Sorry. That's roughly 5 months. I could have learned fucking piano, but I wasted it all on Dota. Well, you had fun. And that's the important thing. No, fun is important. Fun, yeah. You only get the one life, and you gotta enjoy it somehow, you know? It's the people who like spend hours playing Dota but are miserable at the end of it. Those are the people that I feel really sorry for. No, I didn't? Well, yeah. That's fucked up. Like, if you spend hours a day playing Dota and you're like on silver or whatever, and like you're fucking miserable, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out, man. That's when it's bad. Time that you enjoyed spending wasn't time wasted. True. Big true. Big true. Look at Pudge. Is the best hero in Dota? Fuck off, NG. Come on. Fuck off. Best. Get the fuck out of here. I remember, I think I've heard of Pudge. That's the fat guy with the hook, right? Get the fuck out of here, Best. You can say he's your favorite, but come on. Best. Hazunia, today you're on fire? What do you mean today? Every day. Hazunia is awesome. Hazunia is one of my favorite fucking viewers. Also, I'm pretty sure Hazunia is a lady, if I remember correctly.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, the hook hand. Wait, Hazunia, I'm right. You're NB on the masculine side still? Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, you're a... I'm fine with all any. Okay, cool. Nice. Wait, are you, well, your pronouns are they, them? Or, what are your pronouns? Pudge is a hero that really sells the game. Mobu can't really exist without that's kind of analogous to Punch. I can see that for sure, because like it makes sense that like a lot of these abilities don't really distinguish themselves visually. Like if you're getting into Dota for the first time, it's hard to like look at all of these like flashing lights and understand what the fuck's going on. But everybody understands a long ass hook, you know, pulling somebody from across the screen. I can see that for sure. That makes sense. Yeah. It's big, it's bombastic, it changes the battlefield. Yeah, that makes sense. For sure, I get that. Yeah. Everybody loves and hates Pudge as well. And he's polarizing. Yeah. You need that in a video game, for sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. The worst thing you can make with your heroes is to make them, like, boring and unmemorable. The worst thing they can be is boring. They can be infuriating, they can be exhilarating, they can be controversial, but they can't be boring. So, yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Sidious Apologus, start playing in SAPs? I don't know what that means, but okay. Oh, you mean supports. Start playing supports so you can understand the mechanics of the game. And then you learn about artifacts and skills, and then yeah, against bots and stuff. It's gonna be more important. Oh yeah, for sure. I was planning to play against bots first, obviously. Yeah, just to learn the game, obviously. No. If I'm seriously getting into Dota, I think I would like definitely need to do some proper research. It could be like honestly, the more I think about it, the more fun it might be, actually. To like do like a small little side project. The next game that we're playing on stream on Mondays and Wednesdays will gonna be Star Control 3. But maybe one of these weekends, maybe we'll just like do like a special weekend stream where I just dive headfirst into Dota and just see if I like it or not. That'd be kind of interesting. Yeah. For your understanding, the hook it's hard to land, but it's fun. Yeah. For classic hero, a classic Pudge just stands in the bushes and yeah. Gets 1 out of 10 hooks. But yeah, of course. I understand. Yeah. Don't listen to them. Do whatever you want. Oh Christ, these guys are the real fun killers. Ooh, Star Control is so damn good. Oh yeah. We're playing Star Control 3, baby. I got an outfit picked out. I got a whole thing. I found a great website that has a walkthrough on it as well. So we're not going to like lose the game. Star Control 3 is one of those old school games where from the moment that you start the game, there's a timer up until the end event that happens. And if you don't do all the correct stuff by the end of that timer, you just lose the game. So to prevent that, we're going to have a little walkthrough because it's been a while. I've forgotten what to do. So we're going to be cheating a little bit, but just so that we can enjoy the rich narrative. My first hero, Lone Druid, is one of the most complicated heroes in Dota 2. But I tried to learn him because I really liked him. I played poorly, but I enjoyed it. That's awesome. That's good for you. Isn't the best feeling to jump blind into the action? Oh, you're talking about Dota? Kind of. There is something to be said for knowing enough about the game to be able to engage with it. So to put it like, okay, I'm talking about Star Control? No. This is not that kind of game. No. Because again, the problem is the game doesn't tell you if you are too slow. Like, you just play the whole thing out and then you just lose. And then you have to start from the very beginning. I'm not going to subject you. Because, like, okay, if we did that, if I went in completely blind and not knowing, like, how much time I had or not knowing what to do, basically what that would mean is we would have to run the exact same fucking game 5 or 6 times in a row. Does that sound like fun to you? Because that doesn't sound like fun to me. It doesn't sound like fun to anyone else. What's the overall playtime? I don't know, actually. If I had to take a wild guess, going at like a decent pace, maybe 60 hours? That's just a wild guess. I'm actually not sure. I have no clue. Maybe it's intentional to fail. I understand that, but it's not entertaining to watch, and that's not what we want to. That's not what I want to showcase. Pudge says, Pablo, do you have a blog where you can read about your history? About the immigration and stuff? I don't have a blog, but I do have a video you can watch. Here. The Apollicus backstory. I need to make a new version of this because it's been a while. Some stuff have been added, but yeah. I made this in the first couple of years when I started streaming. So you can watch this video and learn about who I am and where I come from. Playing the same game multiple times can be perfectly fine with roguelikes and roguelikes. You know what I mean. You know what I meant. Yeah, like someone will watch this 100-year-old game besides the real hardcore viewers at your mods. Is it to me? I mean, I have to... Oh shit, I just realized I just wrote a thing. I mean, I have to, like, you know, prepare. That's like saying, oh, well, no girl will ever suck my dick, so I guess I better not wash it. Like, I mean, you should probably do it anyway, you know, like. Luck favors the prepared. In case somebody shows up and wants to watch my stream, I want to make sure they're getting the best value. No one's gonna eat my ass, so I better not wash it. You should wash your ass. And not just because it makes it more inviting to eat. There are lots of younger people playing retro games. Also that, yeah, it's really not unusual. Yeah. It's not unusual for young people to play retro games. It's not unusual. No. Why wash your ass if it's still gonna be dirty? Because if you don't wash it, it gets dirtier and dirtier, and then it gets infected, and then before you know it, you've got ass crabs? I don't know. You got some shit. Hemorrhoids? I don't know. Something. You can boot a fucking Minesweeper and it will be here for you, Pavel. Thanks. I appreciate it. But no, I'm really excited for Star Control 3. I am super excited. It's going to be amazing. Again, like, no one's going to watch it. No one's going to give a shit. I'm going to give a shit. I'm going to be having the time of my life. That's the important part. This game shaped me. This game transformed me as a person. Literally. I was 8 years old when I played this shit. What do you think about Helldivers 2? Honestly, not very impressed. Honestly, I was a big fan of Starship Troopers, and I like that parody element of it. I like that, like the aesthetics is not bad. It's like a Warhammer kind of meets Starship Troopers in a way. I get what they're going for, but the gameplay itself just looks very slow and kind of boring, to be honest with you. Not a lot of content, and also it's like almost pure gunplay, which to me is boring as fuck. I would much rather play Deep Rock Galactic or Darktide, which is the game that I normally play. Because that one's also mostly gunplay, but there's like enough of other elements in there that there's some variety, you know? Whereas this, it just looks like pure gunplay with some like little, you know, abilities here and there. It's like, no. Also, everything just moves so slowly, and I don't know, man. It hasn't impressed me all that much. I am genuinely excited for Star Control. Yeah. Yeah. When do we start? Don't want to miss the beginning to catch the narrative. Well, I mean, it's going to be on Monday. But unfortunately, I'm still doing evening shifts, which means that it's going to be like at this time again on Monday, the 26th. So, yeah. The new Deep Rock Galactic? No, the old one. The old one. The OG Deep Rock. Oh no. Well, it's good to be unemployed. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, my work schedule is really fucked up right now, so I can't guarantee a normal stream time. Another unfortunate consequence of my shitty job. What do you think about the new one? Wait. Am I aware of the new one? Wait, do I even know what you're talking about? Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. Oh, this thing. Yeah, the top-down one. I'm sure it's not bad, but it's weird. It's weird to switch. Here, let me have a look here. The problem I feel with these kinds of isometric style games is that in the end game, it just devolves into just a bunch of lights and numbers flashing on screen and not a lot of action, if that makes sense. Like, things are happening, but it's just like so much of it, it becomes like Technicolor fucking light show. It's not gripping enough. It's the same reason why I stopped playing Path of Exile as well. Not just because Path of Exile is a fucking grind fest in the late game, but also because, like, even if you succeed and you have all your specced out, like all your items are all specced out and your skills are all specced out, the end result is you just like get to watch a bunch of numbers fly on screen while you like, you know, pop your skills in a sequential order. It's like, I don't know if that's really that fun. I don't know. It's a very mindless kind of game. It's the kind of game that you definitely, like, I can imagine myself playing while I'm like listening to a podcast or like watching a YouTube video on my second monitor, but not actually investing, you know, into. Which there's something to be said for those kinds of games too, but meh. Big meh. The art style's not bad, but it's also kind of basic. I don't know. I'd probably I don't want to buy it. I don't want to buy it. I don't want to buy it. But Pavel is the true intended Skinner box model. Ah, yes, the Skinner box. Is it an auto shooter? Are there Vampire Survivors wannabe? It doesn't look like an auto shooter, but honestly, it looks like a DLC for the main game. That's kind of how it is, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. The original Deep Rock has been around for like years now. It makes sense they would make a new one. Yeah. I get it. It's not. It's a tried and true format. It's not like anything, you know. Lethal Company? Nah. No, I don't want to play Lethal Company. I tried it once and it was just like, I'm not into it at all. I'm sorry. It's not my kind of game. No, it's too much memery and not enough actual gameplay. No, fuck that. Besides, the zeitgeist has already moved on anyway. I'm still willing to like play Among Us, honestly, but like nobody cares about that. Would you like to try Don't Starve together? No. I am not a big fan of the Survival. Right now, the big game that I'm playing a lot of, I'm going through the Dragon Age series, and right now I'm playing Dragon Age 2. I'm getting through that one. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. I was trying to play Dragon Age Origins, but it kept crashing on me, so I'm going to skip it. I'm down for a buzz party? Yeah, maybe we'll do it sometime, yeah. Alright, see you later, have a good stream. And then good luck to the Russian viewers as well. Yeah. Alright, take care, Sidious Dark. Thanks for the advice and stuff. Thanks for chatting. Town of Salem 2, have you tried it myself yet? Town of Salem 2, haven't heard of that one. Town of Salem 2. What do we wish for our American friends? Nothing. Our American viewers deserve nothing.
The ultimate game of social deduction. A seemingly innocent town.
Well, that's a cute art style.
Turns deadly at night. Uncover secrets. Use your wits.
Oh, is it also like an imposter game? Mm-hmm.
But be careful who you trust.
Oh, free? I like it. Is it free? Oh, shit. Well, that'd be silly not to get then. But no, it's fine. There was another game that somebody recommended to me. There was also like an imposter game that I actually was a lot more interested in. Hold on. Where is it? Where was the other one? The one where it's like winter. Project Winter. Yeah, that's the one. This one actually looks very, very interesting. Also like an Among Us style imposter game, but it actually looks like kind of cool. That you have all kinds of like fun stuff to do. It's like seems like a more long form type of game.
Aaron, you've made it this far. They don't know who you are yet.
You know Dreadhunger? It's even cooler. No, I'm not familiar. Dreadhunger. Or Dead Hunger? Or how do you... NG Monk says, there's going to be a new game, and there's a free demo on Steam. Indica? From a Russian developer. Hey, have a look. Oh, Dead Hunger. Okay, hold on. First of all, let's check out Dead Hunger. There's Dead Hook. There's Dead Hungry. If that's what you mean. This one? Dread Hunger? It's not on Steam anymore? Ah, well, there you go. Indica.
Hi there, I'm Rufus, Product Management Lead at 11-Bit Studios. Today I have something very special for you. I wanted to invite you to...
Paul, I'm going to sleep. Good luck to you. You are Norm Guy. Thanks, Leak Pudge. You too. You're pretty cool.
Join me on a little adventure in the fantastically distorted world of Indica, an upcoming adventure game from the Oddmeter studio. As you are about to find out, Indica is a very peculiar art house project. In the game, we take the role of a young nun sent on an errand from a monastery. On her journey, she meets a rich gallery of characters, one of which is Ilya, a gravely wounded convict.
Okay.
The part of the game I wanted to show you starts when our heroes stopped in an abandoned village, encountering an impossible obstacle. Let's see how they are going to tackle it. As you can see, Indica is a third-person game. The world around our heroine looks pretty bleak and grotesquely twisted. And trust me, this is just a foretaste of the weirdly beautiful locations you are about to visit in the full game.
I gotta say, no shit, Pathologic 3. It really, like, the first thing I thought was, like, what is this Pathologic clone doing here? No, but actually looks pretty cool. I have thought, like, I have said and thought this many times before, there needs to be way more video games that capture the aesthetic of the Russian countryside. Because, like, I think, like, the Russian countryside aesthetic, like, this medieval aesthetic with, like, the little izbushkas on the hills and stuff, like The Witcher kind of did it a little bit. Like a little bit, there was like most of the section, like most of the countries, like kind of like that, but it didn't quite get there. I feel any Slavic countryside, like especially like with this like verticality with the hills and stuff, like it could look so fucking baller. Seriously, can you imagine like a full Slavic mythology game with the fucking like with the Baba Yagas and the Zmengarinich and all that, like all that shit? That would be incredible. Oh man, that'd be so good. Again, Witcher kind of, sort of did it a little bit, but they could have gone so much more ham with it, I think. Oh, man. Yeah. Don't trust anything they say and promise only what you see. Protects you from disappointments a lot better. No, sure. Yeah, I just put it on my wish list just to check it out, but, like, yeah, it looks good.
Finding some of the items might...
Looks good. Oh, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Okay, that was weird.
We'll find something that will help us move the cart forward.
Okay, this is like an on-the-rails story adventure. Okay, that's fine. That's alright. It's only 40 minutes, but you're gonna fucking go crazy for it? I doubt that significantly, but no, I'll check it. I'll check it out on my own time, maybe. Who knows? We have Kingdom Come Deliverance. Yeah. What's the one that? Wait. Oh, I'm thinking of Kingdoms of Amalur. Yeah, this is this one. I always confuse these two games. I always confuse this one with Kingdoms of Amalur, which is the one that like got really fucked. Oh yeah, this thing. Yeah, the medieval thing. Yeah. I just recently started a new campaign in Kingdom Come Deliverance. Well, there you go. An epic adventure of the Holy Roman Empire.
What?
Well, this is like a historical thing, so I probably wouldn't be into it. If it doesn't have like dragons and wizards and elves and shit, I'm not really interested. But you guys have fun. Yeah, I remember choosing the hard mode with no fast travel. Got dried the fuck out of me. Nice. Anyway, lots of stuff on the horizon. I will genuinely genuinely consider maybe doing like a Dota thing. Maybe we'll do a Dota stream just for funsies. I actually could like, that actually sounds kind of fun the more I think about it. That could be a thing. Ashes, I guess I'll let you know if I plan it. Like we can try to coordinate so you can be my guide through the epic world. I don't like fast travel as a mechanic. It has its ups and downs, yeah. I'm down anytime, man. But other than that, yeah, get ready for Monday when we will be playing Star Control 3, the greatest game of all time. It's probably not. Honestly, I'm kind of half expecting it to not live up to the hype, but still, it'll be a fun, formative experience. And also, probably not like next week specifically, because again, like unfortunately, I'm working the first, second, and third, and like evening shifts, so that's not gonna work. But maybe like somewhere around here, like Monday, maybe I'll do it on the Monday instead. We'll do the next episode of Name That List. I will look at my schedule and see. Yeah, I'll announce it on the Discord server. I'll let everybody know in the Discord when the next episode of Name That List is, and we'll take it from there. So yeah, episode 18, topic to be announced, because I'm not actually sure. So we'll see. If traveling is boring, it's an issue in the game development. Typically, I don't like knowing what options I have. I see what you're saying, Hazunia, about the fast travel thing. I think it depends on the game. I think it's okay that certain parts of the experience of whatever you're trying to do are so boring that they better be skipped. Because like what if it's like an instance type of thing, you know, like where instead of an open world, if it's an open world game, then yeah, I think like that's a failure of game design if the whole world isn't worth exploring. That makes sense. Yeah. The way they get around that in RDR2 and Red Dead Redemption 2 is they have Arthur like chat with whoever he's like talking to, right? Like in most games they have like dialogue between the characters as they're traveling, which is a fun way of doing it. Yeah, there's ways to get around it, yeah. Yeah, for sure it does. Kingdom Come is such a huge world and there's so little random events that literally 80% of my playtime is spent on a horse. Yeah. Which again is perfect if you're listening to a podcast in the background, but yeah. Fucking Euro horse riding simulator. Nice. There probably is a thing like that. Euro horse. You can't be sure, but so many open world games rely on fast travel. That's the point of making it open world in the first place if you only fast travel. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. It's a shortcut to get around like actually putting effort into game design. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, my dear friends, we're going to say goodbye. This was a fun stream. Fun little chatting with you. Thanks for sticking around. Wait, how do you say I was born in the year 2000? Oh yeah, we just say the year 2000. That's the main way we say it, yeah. I was born in the year 2000. Well, yeah. People usually don't say I was born in 2000. They usually say like the year 2000. Yeah. I don't know why. It's just a little convention. But like if you were born in 2001, you can just say I was born in 2001. You don't have to say I was born in the year 2001. You can just say I was born in 2001. But for some reason when you say I was born in 2000, that sounds weird. Yeah. It's a cultural thing. 21st century. The naughties. It's stupid. Vash would love that, where you get to play as the horse. Ah! Well, he wants to fuck the horse, but yeah. Oh no, he wants to be the horse. Yeah. But he does hate most open world games, specifically for their lack of content and lack of level design. So it'd be like a, you know. Nobody says 2020? No, nobody says 2020. No. It would like it makes sense by the normal numbering convention, because yeah, like 1901, 1902, etc. So like in theory it should be like 2001, 2002, but nobody says that. No, it's like 2008, 2009, 2010, and then 2011, 2013, etc. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody says 2001. Nobody says that. It's 2001, 2, 3, yeah. 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, etc. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, you know, what it sounds like. It's just culturally convenient. The logic is sound, but nobody says that. I think there was some push for the 2000s to be called the noughties. Yeah, it was stupid. It's just so stupid. Yeah. All right. My dear friends, it's time for me to go. I'm going to make myself a quick din-dins and maybe play some Dragon Age 2 just to unwind before my shitty day at work tomorrow. So we'll see. But I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I hope to see you on Monday when I get to share with you one of my favorite joys in life. One of the very first games I ever played. Ever. I was 8 years old. It was like Star Control 3 and StarCraft. Those were the two big games. Actually, I lie. Tell a lie. Before those two games, actually, there was one other game that I played. The very first computer game I ever played was a little kid's game called Tonka Construction. But we don't count that because it's barely a game. But anyway, bye, everybody. Have a good one.